Hello, everybody. Welcome to the May 2016 questions and answers session for Patron members, $20 and up. It's just like it sounds. We answer questions ranging from the silly to the serious. So whatever you've wanted to know about us, now's the time. We've got a bunch of questions, way more than I think we're going to even be able to get to on a Patreon post from our dear patrons. And we're going to get started right into it. The first question. And I have to say, I have to give it to this guy, Lucas Smith. He's a huge supporter to us. So he was like the first one to enter the Hearthstone tournament. He's the first one to make the question this month. So
we should give him a round of applause.
Yeah, good job, Lucas Smith. First question. That's really, really cool to me when I see like that name always pop up as the first one. So Lucas Smith says, which characters in Overwatch can the allies best relate to?
Torbjorn.
Torbjorn, you say?
Yeah, I said it wrong, but yeah,
that's okay. What is it about Torbjorn?
I like that he's a little weirdo.
Okay.
He's not sexy. So many of those characters are like, I'm sexy, and he's just like a true little weirdo.
His comic is out, Kyle. It just came out. Are you interested in reading it?
Yeah. Yeah. So I just played it. I played it for the first time a little bit yesterday. No, we got to rush through questions. I won't talk about it. But yeah,
okay. You're in?
I was playing as him. I like him. I like his little shotgun.
Friend me, Kyle.
All right.
I want to play with you.
Everybody.
Friend us all.
Yeah, friend us all.
I like Mercy and Tracer, even though I'm really bad at Tracer. And I like Diva. Yeah.
Winston, baby.
That's Winston? A good pick, Brad.
Scientist for life.
Cool.
I can relate to Roadhog the most.
You are from the Midwest.
Sometimes I, too, feel like a fat man with the pig mask and a chain gun. So, yes, I can relate to Roadhog. All right. Should we go on to the next question?
I trampled over Huber, who said Reinhardt, I think.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Reinhardt.
It's all about that justice.
He charges in, he's about justice, but he's like kind of a softy inside.
He's about justice.
He also has a giant hammer, which I know is a good thing for you.
Yeah. Bloodworth.
I don't know yet. I'm not sure. I haven't got into it myself. I mean, I've been keeping up with the shorts and things, but
get on the train, Beworth.
I know. I'm trying to finish things.
Our next question is not a question, but it's from John McLean. He says,
awesome.
Just want to say hello and thanks to you all. Question, maybe next time. So.
Okay.
Hello. All right.
Yeah.
Hello, Detective McLean.
I'm gonna have Damiani open on this one. This next one is from Carlos Lopez. He says, describe your Nintendo E3 press conference of dreams.
Nice.
Wow. I don't know. Like they sort of already did a little bit of that when they did the Zelda concert. Back at was it E3 2011 or 2010. That was pretty awesome. But I mean, I think I would want them to announce the new Kingdom Hearts is on there, the new Grand Theft Auto is on there. Devil May Cry is coming to it, Resident Evil, like every big major, like even Blizzard's gonna put games on Nintendo. It's just like a 2-hour like giant presentation of all these exclusives coming to Nintendo from all these third parties, and then it ends with like a brand new Zelda at the end too, and a new Metroid. Oh, and Reggie comes out in a Samus outfit this time instead of Miyamoto coming out like Link. That would be the end reveal.
I want Miyamoto to come out on the stage with the sword and shield and say, everyone, I'm retiring. And he sets down the sword. And then he goes into the audience and he sits down like everyone else, and he's just going to watch this time. It's my dream.
I want Miyamoto to put Kyle Bossman on blast for not liking Link to the Past.
Oh.
If Miyamoto came out on stage and addressed Kyle Bosman's explicitly, that would be the greatest video game moment ever in anything, yeah. Alright, unless anybody else has anything, we're going to move on to the next one.
So I saw that if we refresh the YouTube video, then we can see comments that people have left.
That's cool.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Bloodworth. That's good information. The next one is from Dan Sebring. Sebring or Sebring? I'm not sure which one. But
Sebring.
He says, Sebring. Okay, thank you, Blood. He says, back in the day, were you a Nintendo or Sega fanboy? Must choose one.
Must choose one.
That's easy.
Nintendo.
I was Sega.
I had both, but Nintendo.
Minority.
Nintendo.
I was definitely a Nintendo fanboy. I even had arguments with people on the bus about how the 64 disc drive was going to catch up the PlayStation, and then the 64 disc drive never came out.
I can imagine young Blood laying down the smack talk. Yeah.
On the bus, that's so cool.
Did any of you have brothers that had the other system? I was the Nintendo guy or Nintendo kid, and my brother was the Sega guy. He had the Sega Genesis, and I had the Super Nintendo. Did any of you have siblings like that where they were loyal to the other system?
I had regular Nintendo and Genesis. Yeah.
I had a sort of. I don't know how to describe. So my dad had a girlfriend who had a son who had a Genesis. And so when I was over at my dad's house on weekends, sometimes I got to play the Genesis.
Nice.
Had them both.
You had
Nintendo
both?
and Genesis.
I was actually going to ask
right.
that. Which one of you was the spoiled brat that had both? Because I was the only child and I only had the Genesis.
It's the 2OC boy.
The OC boy.
I had regular Nintendo, and then I got Genesis instead of Super Nintendo because Mortal Kombat had blood.
Yes, that's a Huber answer. I like
That was
it.
the deciding factor in the purchase.
I skipped that whole gen. I wasn't even part of that generation.
That's craziness.
What a surprise.
I actually
it wasn't I wasn't begging for those consoles.
Right. No, I actually didn't get my own NES until after the Super NES was out, and I was renting the Super NES.
Yeah,
Wow,
I'd
that's
rent
dedication.
them all the
I like
time.
that.
I'd
That's
rent
cool.
them I had a Genesis, but we'd rent the Super a lot.
Our next question comes in from the original Snitch, and it is directed specifically at Kyle Bossman. It says, Kyle, what's the deal with your sneaker situation? Are the blue Nikes officially retired?
Okay, well, I'll give a short, honest answer. I use the blue Nikes when I'm out for walks. They're not retired. You sometimes see them in streams. I just wear my sneakers till they get gross and then kind of shift them down one.
Quick question. Do you take daily walks?
Yes.
Just go for strolls?
That's so
John?
These aren't supposed to get private. This was not supposed to get private.
That's
amazing.
something I intend to do that I never do.
Wait, is that a rule that it can't get private?
No, it can
No,
get
that is
private.
not a rule.
I was going to say, these are never going to get fun. I'm having fun. I didn't mean that to sound like I'm not having fun.
Really quick before the
Yeah.
next question. Ian Pink, you said you had a Sega Genesis. Did you have Streets of Rage?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
I
Sorry.
can imagine, those press conferences that you see in movies where there's a bunch of cameras flashing and reporters shoving microphones up into people's faces. I can just see Huber coming in. Did you or did you not have Streets of Rage? I just want to say really quick, this is totally off topic, but yeah, we're at 40,000, which feels good. That
Feels good, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Dream of dreams.
Our next question is from Uzman Khan.
Nice.
Yeah, he says, hey, allies, I will be getting married to the most awesome girl I've ever met on July 22nd this year. Congratulations. First time.
Congrats.
Good job.
Last year, I found out that she is somewhat of a casual gamer, which was a huge shock to me. Anyway, we're both really hoping to find some games that we can play together as opposed to taking turns. So my question is, what non-online co-op games can you all recommend for us other than Portal 2? Old games
Diablo
included.
3.
Would really appreciate any advice. This is a really great question, by the way.
Diablo
Streets of
3.
Rage.
Sunset
Diablo
Riders.
3 on the PS4.
Diablo 3 is a very good one, definitely. I think, sorry, go ahead, Blood.
The Lara Croft and the Guardian of Light and the other one. Those are real good. Played a bit of those with Amanda.
Any Gears of War game you can play local.
Super Mario 3D World.
Ooh.
Yeah, great answer.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Left 4 Dead, I think, is another one that's good.
Is that
Offline
local?
co-op. Yeah, you can do offline local.
Oh.
I
Is
think
it split screen only, or are they linking together?
Need a computer.
it's split screen.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Rayman Legends.
Oh,
Rayman
yeah,
Legends.
Very nice one, Blood.
Mario Kart, obviously.
Dragon's Crown.
Dragon's Crown.
Shut up,
Deep
Brad.
cut there, Brad.
Get nuts.
Any other co-op games? There's so many co-op games. Would you say Army of Two would be good for
No.
fledgling?
No,
Okay.
no.
No.
Don't do that.
No.
Okay. All right. Let's see.
We want them to get married.
Yes. Good point. Good point. Our next question comes from Joey Donaldson. Question. Oh, by the way, I wish they would have said what platforms they had. So Usman Khan, get back to us and let us know what platforms you had. That way we can narrow down your options a little bit. Anyway, our next question is from Joey Donaldson. He says, what do you guys think of comic books these days? I'm an indie comic book writer, and while there's a great scene up here in Toronto, the medium is still entirely dominated by Marvel and DC. I have lost all respect for these companies from a creative standpoint as they continually disregard their fans and characters in favor of rebooting series and universes over and over in hopes of selling special editions. I'm speaking purely of the comic side of things here, not the movies. As a result of this, I pretty much only real image comics these days, with the occasional look into Boom Studio or other big indie publishers. So, do you guys care all about comics? Are you into the Marvel DC stuff, or are you also burned out on it? Also, thanks, love and respect. P.S. I love Benmore the most. That is not. He said that. Okay. I'm not making that part up. So, comic books. Huber, I think that's you, right?
Yeah, Batman, dude, the Batman reboot is like one of the best Batman arcs there has been in so long. Like, it's going down in history. There's so many arcs, and like, sure, they just rebooted like Death in the Family and a couple of those, but the twists that they made on them were super creative. They didn't feel just like Hollywood rehash. So I'm super happy about that.
I'm sorry if this is ignorant. Didn't DC, like, just this past week reboot everything again? What is Rebirth?
So, yeah, so the New 52, like, they ended the New 52, and now, like, a lot of those ongoing series are going to new writers to make new stories again.
Yeah, Huber,
So-
that thing you loved is over already.
Yeah. No, already, it was like 4 or 5 years. It was a long time. Like, issue 1 here from Batman is...
Oh, man, just has it
It's
right
like,
next
mix
to
it
it.
up.
November 2011. I've been getting these once a month for 5 years. Like,
What I think is so interesting, though, is, like, Joey hates that comic, Huber. He thinks, like, it's disrespectful to you as a fan. Like, that
man.
perspective is really interesting to me.
I know. I think the Batman Court of Owls, like, seriously one of the most creative and incredible Batman stories there's ever been. And it was a reboot. It was new. So I'm cool.
I read that. I read that, and I thought it was all right. I'm like they said, I really like Image comics. Those are the ones that I read. I like Nowhere Men a lot, and I like Black Science, and I just picked up Bitch Planet. I haven't read it yet.
I like that title.
Everyone should read Saga. It's like...
I burned out on Saga. I burned out when they got to the lighthouse. I was just like,
keep going, Ian.
really?
Yes.
They killed my favorite character, and then I was like immediately, and I was like,
Checked out. Just like, all right, I'm done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was
But
so cool.
that's a great question, though. Not to stay on it for too long, but Marvel DC Comics, now that the movies are so huge, I wonder how much influence like Hollywood has on all that. So
I don't know. I glanced at A-Force. Thought I liked Singularity, but then I stopped reading it.
This is cool. It's cool to learn this about Joey. He's got a Kickstarter for his comic,
Oh, neat.
Failed Oasis, and it was funded.
What is
Cool.
what is the link for that? Let's plug that real quick. Is it?
Yeah, let's plug this. Kickstarter.com. Well, I mean, it's already funded.
Okay.
He already
What's it
got his
called?
money.
Broad an awareness, I guess.
Failed Oasis.
Okay.
Failed
Cool.
Oasis.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joey, that's awesome. I have a tremendous
Like 2
respect.
years ago. Sorry, Joey. Let us know what you're working on now.
Yeah. Yeah, very, very cool, Joey. And that was a great question. I totally agree. Thank you for that. Our next question is from G Sith, like the name. He says, I would like to ask about the value on subscribing on Twitch versus taking that money and just boosting one's Patreon donation. Of course, we all want you in a studio, though we also love the garage. So should we take that money and redirect it to make that happen? I'm hoping your cut is better from Patreon and Twitch. Mad love and respect. So basically, he's wanting to know, he's got a limited amount of money. Should he put that towards Twitch, increasing his Patreon amount, or should he put it towards Twitch?
All right. I know Jones's answer is always both are good, but I will tell you straight up, we make a lot more money from Patreon $5 than we do from Twitch $5.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's very, very true.
Yeah, I mean, Twitch is fun because you get the emotes, and, like, you get those things. But yeah,
your
personally
badge.
speaking. Sorry?
You get your badge too.
You get your badge, you get that little A. But yeah, we make a ton more money from Patreon. Their cut is much less.
So the official answer, Twitch is very fun, but it helps us out a more if you increase the Patreon amount. So our next question is from Mike Hook.
Mike Hook.
Longtime fan, and he's got this adorable. His like icon is a plush duck. It's pretty cute. He says, "Which long dead video game series would each of you allies like to see make a huge comeback at this year's E3? I personally would like to see Skies of Arcadia 2. Great answer. Or Beyond Good and Evil 2. Great answer. Destroy Us with an on-stage demo at one of the press conferences. Last year may have been the E3 of dreams, but there's still many dreams left unfulfilled. What are yours?"
Tenchu.
Nice, Brad.
I want Tenchu back.
I feel like Huber has kind of polluted my mind. Like, I never would have said this if I had not met Huber, but I really want another Onimusha.
Yeah, you do.
And I didn't want that before. So, yeah, I want another Onimusha.
All right, since you stole my answer, I'll just say the obvious. Half-Life 3, dude. Just bring it.
You'll never get it.
Just bring it back.
It's amazing, Huber, because you were carrying this impossible torch that was Shenmue 3, and that happened, and so you're like, all right, time to
All
pick
right, Half-Life. Let's
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
It's coming. VR.
Besides a Metroid, I don't know if that really counts as long dead yet. Another
it's-
like a good Silent Hill or PT actually happening would be really good to see.
It's a good answer.
Or if they just suddenly revive Star Wars 1313 and then like be like, it's out. We did an anti-leak. We canceled it for 10, and here it
That'd be
is. We've
so
been working
cool.
on it in the shadows.
Mega Man Legends or
Yeah!
Pet the Rapper.
Yeah! Okay, sweet. Michael,
yeah.
tell me. Oh, Blood, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely, it's not gonna happen. I know it's not gonna happen, but seeing a Castlevania back would be great.
Oh, good pick.
Oh,
Long dead.
yeah.
Long
That
dead
means
for
the
sure.
E3 lineup is literally Pro Evolution Soccer 2017.
No, they're gonna surprise us. Something's coming, bud.
A slot machine.
Yeah,
No.
and a phone game.
Damiani, hit me.
I would like to see F-Zero come back. That's the serious answer.
Yeah.
I was waiting for Blood to go because I thought Blood might say that, so I was like,
No, I had a couple of them and then I forgot a couple. Yeah, F-Zero and Wave Race for sure, both of those.
yeah, I did have a troll answer, but I went with the serious one. The troll answer was going to be Devil May Cry, and I was going to tell you DMC didn't exist. That doesn't count. So the last Devil May Cry we got was in 2008 or 9 with Devil May Cry 4. So we need a new one to make it happen.
Huber's video feed went out.
He
got
turned
so
into
angry.
a forklift.
Shenmue.
You know
Loves
what
DMC.
you know what we might actually see, and I'm not sure that I want to see it because of the circumstances, but Banjo-Kazooie.
We got ukulele.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Ukulele will be great, but Banjo-Kazooie might come back.
Last Banjo
Yeah,
that was pretty lame.
Okay, guys, for the next one, I want no elaboration. I just want a quick hit. Just boom, boom, boom. Give me your answer. The next one is from Professor Metal Gear. I'm going to go down
Nice.
the line
That's
here.
an awesome name.
That is an awesome name, absolutely. What is your favorite video game franchise and why? To me, it's Metal Gear Solid. Michael Huber.
Resident Evil.
Michael Damiani.
Zelda.
Kyle Bossman.
Zelda.
Ian Hink.
Oh my God! Come back to me.
Daniel
I got
Bloodworth.
Zelda.
Oh, wow, 3 Zeldas. Holy cow. Brad Ellis.
Zelda.
All right, I wasn't expecting-
Souls.
All right,
Souls. That's good. Yeah.
that's a good answer. It's a good answer. All right, our next question is Ahmad Sammy. We got a nuts and bolts question. I like these.
Wait, Ben, what was yours?
Metal Gear Solid.
Oh, yours. Oh, sorry.
It's okay. 3, 2, 1, your camera's crooked. All right, Ahmad Sami, is the frequency of your reviews going to increase? Currently, you are missing a lot of important games.
Oh boy.
Define important.
There's something I want to address with this real quick. I just have a very short answer. Reviews. We have discovered that reviews are, or at least for me, I don't want to speak for the other guys, but reviews are very difficult to do. So because this is kind of the startup independent thing, and we're all wearing so many hats, just the time that I have to play specific games, especially specific long games, has gone down, and getting the footage to the person that's going to edit the review and figuring out when they and their schedule can edit it and then getting it up, it's just the process is a lot more confusing and elaborate than it was at Game Trailers, and I think just for me personally, that's why it seems like the frequency of reviews has gone down. And I think it's something that over time we're going to get better at once we kind of get more familiar with things, and especially after E3 when I think we have more time and there maybe aren't as many things coming out. I think it will get better. So.
Yeah, I mean, I can add on that too. I mean, when we put up that review goal, I was like, we'll do 4 reviews a month. So it's just kind of funny to see the expectations shift so quickly. To well, why aren't you doing what you were at Game Trailers?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I've had similar difficulties. That I feel like I'm working all day long, and then oh, I've spent 4 or 5 weeks on this review. I should get to that. But yeah, it's difficult. I mean, I had a lot of time just trying to get gear set up that should have just plugged and played, and I had to spend a whole day troubleshooting. Just some one little simple fix, but I didn't know what the simple fix was because nobody else seemed to have that problem.
I agree.
And I think it's going to get better. Brad is just about to do his first review. Is going to be Overwatch, and so we're just adding somebody else that can do reviews, and once we get more people comfortable with stuff, the frequency will go up as well.
Huber's been killing it.
Yeah, Huber's been killing. You've done 3, Huber?
4.
4. Oh man, yeah. Nice stuff. All right, our next question comes in from Rebecca Blackmore. I like this question. If you could scratch any film's existence from history and morph the narrative and style into a video game so that it only ever existed in that form, what would you choose?
Jesus is right. This is quite a question.
It's an intense question.
Does he have to erase the film? Oh my
You
God.
erase the film and you turn it into a video game, and that's the only form it exists in.
I know enough. I have his answer.
Okay.
I mean, do that to any one of the Star Wars prequel movies.
Yeah.
Get rid of
Erase the film.
Phantom. Yeah, they would have been better as video games, I think, than they would have been as movies, and then wouldn't have to have dealt with that. Either that or the 2 Matrix sequels, and just let the Matrix be the official only film. That would be my answer.
My answer is controversial.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I'm saying Akira.
Whoa.
Okay, I can see that.
Because-
That's a good answer. Yeah,
Because
yeah.
a proper masterpiece video game of Akira, a 10 out of 10 game, would be the best.
Directed by Cliff Blazinski. I can see it. That would be
Yeah,
cool.
the problem is, Huber, is you killed anime in that timeline.
I know,
Yeah.
I know.
You killed anime.
He didn't kill anime.
We would still have the manga.
I'm going to go with the 1996 Pauly Shore classic Biodome. I would like that to be a video game.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Because you got to worry about butterfly effect here, and I think Ben made a good call there.
That's
But I
why.
would want Pauly Shore to still be in it, for sure.
Rockstar presents.
I'm gonna go with a recent one, even though I haven't seen it. Jurassic World.
Okay, I like that answer too. That's a good pick.
Here's the thing, though. Erasing a sequel seems like cheating because, it's easy to just pick off the crappy one off the end, and still get a good movie. I feel like you have to pick a mainline, first title. They're talking about destroying the world here.
Yeah.
That's not what the question asked, so.
That's true.
Eh.
Vampire Hunter D Bloodline, or whatever.
What?
The second one.
That's what you would do?
Bloodlust? What is it called? Yeah, maybe it's one of them. I was trying to think. Because that wouldn't impact the world in any way, and it could be a cool game.
That is the
Yeah.
perfect Ian Hink answer. I love it.
I'm gonna take Paul Blart Mall Cop.
Oh,
I
wow.
would play the hell out of my unknown game.
Yeah.
What type of game would that be, Brad?
Hold on, markup.
That'd be
I
like
think
Dead
it's a game,
Rising,
dude.
but
It'd be
without.
like Dead Rising, yeah, or like with stealth
Third-person
elements where you're
mall
creeping
simulator.
on people.
Yeah, because
Trying
it
to
all takes
catch
place over
shoplifters.
one night.
Yeah.
That's a good game, Brad.
Dumb Game Monday. Paul Blart Mall Cop.
All right. Our next question comes in from Joseph Caruso. He says, do the allies believe that the size of an audience of any given intellectual property affects said intellectual property? While I want the Easy Allies to be very successful, I feel part of the charm is the fact that your audience is relatively small. It's really nice when the allies are able to personally respond to all the tweets and emails from fans, or at least read all the comments, but at a certain volume I feel like that would not be possible. It's sad when a voice is lost in a sea of voices. That said, the response to my Kyle Bossman tribute was extremely positive and moving, so while I wish more and more people got to enjoy the allies, I'm glad that the audience you do have is so passionate.
Yeah, I think from my experience, the bigger something gets, like everything that person said is correct, because it's a small audience, and then yeah, we can just respond directly to everything. I really like that, and it feels safer and better. In my experience, the bigger an audience gets, the more negativity there is too. Like you get haters in there if the audience gets too big. So I really like something. That's something I really like about our thing, is that it seems positive on the whole.
Mm-hmm.
That said, I mean, yeah, growing a little would be good, but
Yeah, I agree. It's one of those things where like we want to grow and make more money so this can be more viable for us and for our futures, but at the same time, like I totally agree. I feel like we really have a super close-knit community. Like there's an Easy Allies group that just gets together and watches movies, and it's just like these little things.
in real life.
In real life, yeah. Well, no, I'm sorry. They don't get together and watch movies in real life. That's incorrect. They get together and watch movies on the internet together.
Oh.
But it's still very cool. And, just all the little things that I've seen are super, super, super awesome. So it's tough. All right. Our next question comes from Alex Castellanos. He says, my time is so limited now, kind of demanding job and commute as well as marriage, that I find it hard to play many games. I still consider myself a hardcore lover of games and still find the time to listen to you guys and the Kind of Funny crew fairly regularly, but my question is this. Do you have to play games consistently to be a serious gamer? No, I don't think so. Like, if you care about games, if you're listening to us for sure, listening to our nerdy voices and Kind of Funny, like I think you seriously care about games and what happens to them. And there's a lot going on in your life.
Yeah, absolutely.
That doesn't take away from your seriousness, I don't think.
I mean, I think the term serious is interesting because, like, I guess I consider myself a fairly serious gamer, and I only play a few games comparatively to the rest of these guys because I just, have more, like, I have tastes, I know what I like, so I'm not going to play most other stuff. So, like, you could be a serious gamer and only play one game a year, if it's the only one you want to play.
Look at Damiani rub the sleep out of his eyes. What are you doing, dude?
No, that's cat hair.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, that was cat hair that got into
I thought
my
you were getting
eye.
like a little cartoon character.
No. Yeah.
I definitely relate to this guy. I mean, because just like I don't know how Bannon, Huber, and Brad are even doing it. Like, I barely find time to play the one or two games I'm quote unquote supposed to be playing, and like all this other things. That I haven't even started Dark Souls 3 yet.
I mean, me and Hubert talk about this all the time, though. But at a point in your life, you just start picking and choosing what games you're playing. So some are gonna get left behind. You shouldn't really feel bad about it. Just play what you want to play.
Buy
I know
everything,
Ben
play what
feels
you
bad
can.
about it.
Don't buy everything you can.
Yeah, don't buy everything.
No.
Buy everything, play what you can. Yep, good philosophy.
No.
You heard it here first. All right, we have another quick hitter. Going down the line again. This one is from Lance Minke. Probably mispronounced that, but it's all right.
I think it's Minky.
Minky.
Yeah.
Minky? Minky. Okay.
It's Lancé.
I don't know if I believe that, but we're going to do this quick hitter.
Okay.
Down the line, what is your favorite color? Mine is red. Michael Huber.
Blue.
Michael Damiani.
Orange.
Ooh, I like that answer. Kyle Bossman.
Gray.
Oh,
That is such a Kyle Bossman answer.
Kyle.
Oh man, gray. Okay, Ian Hink.
I'm more interested in the interplay between colors.
Oh my God. What's your favorite interplay? What's your favorite interplay?
I like really darker hues, rich tones, you know, blues,
Okay.
magentas, that kind of stuff.
God damn it. All right, Daniel Bloodworth.
Purple, but I like the deeper, darker purple, not like a pinkish purple.
Get off my
Royal
skis,
Purple
blood.
Blood. Royal Purple Blood. I like it. Okay, very cool. Bradley Ellis.
Blue.
Thank you, Brad.
It's pretentious color answers.
All right.
Colors are a complicated issue, Brad.
Our next question comes from Guillermo Sanchez.
So close.
Okay, this is an interesting one. I'm going to go ahead and do it anyway. To what point do you think the current social justice warriors crusade will affect the creativity or art decisions in video games, movies, comics, etc.? Do you think this is affecting the current landscape of the business? What is your point of view for this current trend? I think everything's fine. It's fine.
I'm for one letting creators make whatever they want. So, I mean, some stuff gets censored. It doesn't bug me too much, but I would like the creators to do whatever they want.
And I'm kind of torn a little bit. Like on the one side, I think, if everyone has blind spots or whatever, right? And you have creative things. It's like, oh yeah, I didn't realize I was doing that, and I should maybe think about what I make a little bit differently. On the other side, I do not like mob rule and people shouting down things from the internet and just making people's lives miserable to get what they want.
That was well said, Blood.
I mean, it's a dangerous and complicated issue, but like, I think that when you're creating things, you should strive to, not be offensive. I mean, if you're going for like shock humor, that's one thing, but like trying not to be offensive to like, minority groups or any people that, are just traditionally maligned by society, like, I don't know, I feel I have a responsibility to try to be a positive force as much as possible. And like, I mean, the term social justice warrior is like thrown around generally by, like, it's not usually a positive term, which is funny because like social justice is a good thing, and anyone that's like, trying to defend people or like make the world a more equal place for everyone that's not a problem. So, yeah.
I think those were considerate answers. I think between Blood and Ian, that's kind of what I would want to say. Does anybody else have anything, or should we move on?
One thing I would add is, I mean, I know people don't want to. They try and tiptoe around stuff. When you're being creative, it's a reflection of who you are and your personality. So I think you'll be happiest when you try and make something that is kind of true to yourself. Maybe show it to some people first that you trust, and you might learn something about yourself, I think, through the creative process. You might be able to see what other people will tell you, like, I feel that's offensive, or I interpret it as this way. I think it's a good way to truly, honestly learn about yourself if you are able to be completely open when you're doing creative work. Just maybe don't broadcast it to the entire world immediately, but show it to a group of trusted friends, and if they are really good friends, they'll tell you what's up, and you might realize things about yourself and about things you didn't know about, that if you're like a civil person, you should be able to grow and learn from that. That would be my like personal advice if you didn't want to be like completely miserable and worrying about like marketing and like the social aspect of it right away, where it might influence your work and you might feel stressed and stuff. It's better if you genuinely change and learn on your own, and then because then that's who you are, and it'll make creating stuff a little bit more I don't want to say easy, but you'll have a better time doing it instead of stressing out that you're going to make something that you're always worried that it's going to offend somebody. Like, I think when you're creating something, you shouldn't have to necessarily worry about that at the start. But it's definitely your responsibility as a person to be aware that just because it's who you are, it could have a negative impact on other people. And, you know, that's your responsibility to consider that.
I like it. I like it. It was really
Damiani
good.
running for office.
Damiani running for office as president 2016. Make video games great again. All right, moving on to the next question. And actually, before we move on, can we just take one brief second to appreciate the wonderful and amazing wall scroll behind Damiani's head?
Oh my
I just
god.
noticed that too.
Just wanted to point that out. Very good stuff, Damiani. Great taste.
I know.
Our next question is from Robert. This is for me specifically, so I'll just run through it really quickly. Ben, did you ever write, post, / shoot the unused backstory of Tabletop Adventures? I binge watched that whole series, and throughout it you mentioned you would say that you intended the cast to do and find certain things at the end of the campaign, like the Goose storyline and who his prisoners were, but alas, that was never an episode. No, I never did talk about that, but yeah, what you saw versus like what I intended were completely different storylines. I meant for a very, very, very different campaign. But that's okay. I mean, that's what D&D is. You want your players to do what they want. But yeah, that might be interesting sometime. Maybe we'll make that like a Patreon thing where I'll just like talk about very quickly what the unused backstory was if people are interested in. That might be cool. Thank you, Robert. Our next question is from Nicholas R. He said, I like this. Very simple but good. What game was your most recent rage quit? Is that something to be ashamed of?
I got one. I was playing on Dumb Game Monday. I quit for the first time ever. Beowulf, the game.
Why did you quit?
I had to save virgins who were just like big-breasted blonde women who have torn-apart clothes who stand still while trolls grab them. I had to save them while keeping my idiot army alive who died in like 3 hits. And despite that, it froze my character in place. Like, it's just a very buggy game. So I was frozen. I could move the camera, but not my character. Just watching a troll carry this virgin into the pit, tossing her into the pit. She didn't even try to run away. That was it. That was enough for me. I was like, no. This game doesn't deserve the live stream. Doesn't deserve the credit.
Wow.
I don't think you should ever feel ashamed of rage quitting. In online matches, yes. If you're playing a 2-player fighting game, just play it out. But if you're playing by yourself, rage quit all you want.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever like rage quit out of anger, but what I do a lot is just like, this isn't worth my time, quit. Kind of like what Kyle was saying. I'm trying to think of the last one I did that on. It's generally just like, oh, I don't like this, you know, and then it just stopped forever. Yeah.
The only thing I rage quit in, and I do it often, is Hearthstone.
Wait, when you're just playing 1v1?
Like, I won't like quit mid-match, but they'll beat me, and then I'll just like shut it off and be like, I'm done.
And then he'll say dead game.
Yeah, dead game. Dead game.
I have one for Huber as well. Bombshell.
Oh my god.
He didn't do it. He played through the whole thing.
Yeah.
No, he played through the whole thing, but I'm sure there were some rage quits in there.
Yeah, they're on that boss, that like 3-hour boss fight. I think I quit like once or twice.
Nah, if you ended up finishing the game, none of that counts as quitting.
Yeah. Hearthstone, I quit, but I always come back.
You quit in anger. Yeah, and then you come back. I've never been angry.
I was at this is a bullshit answer, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I was at an event recently, and I was playing a game, and it was so broken that I got frustrated after like an hour of playing, and I just like set down the controller and walked away.
Can you tell us after E3 what it was?
Yes, I can.
Okay, I want to know.
You will be surprised by my answer.
Oh no.
Oh, I think I know.
And like the developer of the game was there, and it was crashing for everybody. And it was like after the 4th crash for me, I was like, I'm sorry, like there's other things to do here. Like I can't.
This was like recently?
I didn't say that to him. That was just going on in my mind. Yes, this was very recent. All right.
Okay. Because I remember you
Damiani knows.
you were not that
Yeah.
favorable to
Not saying anything.
to Hitman when you saw the preview.
Yeah, because it was awful. When I went to see the demo for Hitman, like no one could finish the demo. Like it was unfinishable because of the
Wow.
bugs. Uh,
Do you remember what you said about it when you came back?
I said it was like as busted, if not more busted, than Sonic Boom. Yeah, I stand behind that.
I believe what you said was fundamentally effed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the thing is, the state of the game that I played, if you played it, I think you would come to the same conclusion. But that experience has definitely changed how I evaluate pre-release stuff, because I was playing Hitman last night, and it was night and day. It was like a totally different game. The problems that I saw are not there anymore. So things change.
You're playing Hitman in a post-Overwatch world?
I'm
What's
a weird guy, man.
You are. That's true.
Hitman's gonna be at E3. It's a weird game.
It is a weird
Yeah,
game.
episodic. I think the only game actually I can remember quitting in recent memory was probably Dishonored, just because I can't do first-person stealth. I'm not a big fan of first-person games to begin with, and when they mixed in the stealth element, like I was just messing up left and right despite trying stuff. And like about 2 hours into the game, I was like, if you can't give me third-person view, I can't do this. Like I'm just gonna end up hating myself for playing this, or I'm gonna hate this game for unfair reasons. So it was totally a me problem, not the game problem, because obviously a lot of people love that game and love what it did for like first-person stealth, but I can't handle not having the situational awareness that you have with a third-person game like a Metal Gear. So just couldn't deal with it.
I want to talk about when me and Kyle streamed Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival.
Oh, good example, dude.
I think we played for, 15 minutes, Kyle?
Yeah.
And we legit couldn't take him. That was the first time we ever did that, too, I think.
Rage quit.
That's amazing to me because it's such a short amount of time that it's hard for me to imagine that you got to that point that fast.
There's
It was
nothing
like
there.
the third turn. It was the third turn of the board game, and it's like, oh, there's nothing here.
Yeah.
No mini games. In the board game portion.
Guys, you are all beautiful creatures, and your answers have been amazing. I'm just a little bit stressed right now. We have so many
Gotta
questions.
go fast.
Okay.
All right. Quick
So
fire.
just keep that. No, you guys are great. Seriously, just keep that in the back of your mind. That got a lot of questions. All right, our next question is from A7X458. He says, "Hello, allies. What is the worst game you've ever bought? I bought The Amazing Spider-Man 2 on PS4. And that's all he says. I like that. Thank you for the videos and praise the sun."
Yeah.
Superman 64.
Ooh, how much did you pay for Superman 64?
I think I didn't buy it. I think it was the only thing I wanted for like my birthday or something.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
I got it for a
the
holiday.
bot is a key word there.
Bot.
Yeah.
I mean, I intentionally bought 2 Human, and it's still in shrink wrap, but that's just because they announced that it had to be destroyed. The court said all copies had to be destroyed. I'm like, I'm buying that now.
I remember buying State of Emergency and hating
Oh.
it. God, I hated that game.
I bought this will surprise people. I bought Final Fantasy IV on Steam, the 3D one, and it was so broken. I actually asked for a Steam refund from it and got my refund. So that was kind of weird.
Yeah, similarly with the PlayStation version of Final Fantasy VI, like I played that for about 10 minutes before I got to like some completely broken audio that they didn't bother to clean up, and I'm like, nope, not gonna play this version.
Yaiba Ninja Gaiden Z is a pretty shitty game. It's a bad one.
And you bought it?
Duke Nukem Forever. Yeah, I also paid $60 for Duke Nukem Forever the day it came out.
Oh my God.
Cool.
So not cool. Kyle, what about you? Did you say the answer?
I don't have one yet. I don't
Okay.
have like a thing where I was very disappointed in a game that I bought.
Okay. I feel like you're pretty good at being very discerning when you buy video games. And I like
You know what
that.
I hate? I bought Sticks.
Oh.
The little gnome in the shadows game. I bought
Oh,
that.
okay.
Gave it a shot. Hated it big time. I know people love that game.
I like that game. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. That's a good answer.
Stronghold 3, because I used to love the Stronghold. The Stronghold and Stronghold Crusader were like my jam, and 2 was terrible, and I was like, maybe 3, they did it. And I thought about it for like months, and I waited for it to go on sale because I didn't have faith. And then I bought it for $30, and I played it for like half an hour, and I was like, this is garbage.
That's a good answer. Stronghold used to be cool. Our next question comes from Dennis. Which video game franchise do you think would adapt well to a television series, and why?
Resident Evil.
I think Resident Evil is a good answer. Yeah.
Mirror's Edge.
Nice, Damiani.
You know they're making a TV show of that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
What?
Oh gosh.
that was a joke. Like
I
they're
can
making
tell
a
by
TV.
your laugh that I was
Oh,
like,
no.
oh, they must be making that.
I want a Metal Gear Solid anime.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
like-
Whoa.
I think I would want live action, actually.
Fire
Is there-
Emblem is the serious
Fire
answer.
Emblem is a good answer.
Bloodborne Emblem or anime.
Oh my god.
I would like
Eve
a,
Online.
I'd like a Trails in the Sky anime, I think.
Really?
Live action Deus Ex would be cool. TV show.
That'd be
Vince
a
Vaughn.
big budget TV show.
Vince Vaughn and that. Why would you good? I think.
The I don't know, maybe Life is Strange.
That's a good answer. I like that.
Wow, nice call.
Huber. Our next question. Unless Kyle, you didn't answer. Did you have
I
anything?
don't have. No, keep going.
Okay. Our next question is from Lemmy Losel. I don't know how to say that last name, but Remy is a very cool name, so we're gonna go on that. Remy says, "Hi, EZA. Do you think the rumored Nintendo MH could be compatible with the NX games, or is the MH and NX really two separate projects? Love and respect."
I'm gonna hate to admit this. What's the MH?
Yeah,
I don't know
MH
either.
MH
Never
is
heard of that.
another bullcrap rumor that came out that it didn't have a lot of steam. So I don't know that the MH is actually a thing.
Thank you guys. I felt so dumb. I was like,
I was like, Nintendo Monster Hunter? I was like, what?
We don't have to use strong language like bullcrap, though.
No, I mean
Come on,
it
Lloyd, keep it
didn't
PG.
really. Like a lot of these rumors, like they have like some meat on their bones, and that's why everyone starts talking about them. Like this one just immediately didn't feel like it did. So, yeah, it was supposedly the handheld or whatever that Nintendo would be working on.
Okay.
Our next question comes from.
Well, I mean, to answer the question, though,
I'm sorry.
I do think they're closely involved, and I do think that there will definitely be games that run on both. When the NX is announced, I think we'll only see the console, with hints at what the handheld might be.
I think it's going to be one
that's logical.
system.
It's not. Ian, it's not.
Why not?
Do you work at Nintendo?
Because
now?
they've said,
Expert Kyle. Is this,
because they've said,
save it for the bets.
they've said, oh, God. All right.
No, I think that they will reveal the whole shebang at once. I think that's the whole hook.
Yeah,
Maybe
I
not
think
the whole
that,
hook, but a big part of it.
yeah, you're
That's-
right. That's why they can't do it at E3. They can't do it in an hour press conference. They need a whole dedicated event.
I think I'm not going to say the definitive quickest way to get Kyle salty, but I think one of the quickest ways to get Kyle salty is to fuck up a Nintendo NX rumor. Like it just gets him so quick. I love it. All right, are we ready to move on? Sorry,
Yeah.
I really, you're right. Thank you for stopping me, Kyle, because we did not answer the question. But our next one is from Eduardo Ortiz, and we kind of already went over this, so we'll do this one fast. Hey guys, what comic book series, if any, are you guys following, or what's been your favorite graphic novel? I'm just gonna steal this real quick. It's not a comic book series, I guess it's manga, but I've been reading Akame ga Kill very slowly. It's good. Anybody else?
I'm getting caught up on Berserk.
Nice, good answer.
So here's the TV series. It's Animal Crossing, but it's like a drama. It's like played up like drama. And so like when somebody leaves the town, that's a big deal. Like people are just like, oh, can you believe Sweetie Q left the town this week?
Would it have like that reality television show thing where they're like
They
in
talk
a
to
room?
cameras?
Yeah, they talk to cameras. I think that could be really funny.
They have Animal Crossing, I think, shorts in Japan on TV or something like that.
Okay.
Speaking of going backwards and answering all the questions, erasing Jaws and making that a game would be pretty amazing because it would
There
change
is a
the
Jaws game
entire
that's great.
course. No, but no movie. Game instead.
I'm
It would
worried
change
we're
the
gonna
entire
get.
course of Hollywood. Anyway,
Sidetrack.
It's got a
Backward
bunch
answer
of
question. Excuse me.
Hawkeye from Matt Fraction. That's like the only one I own. is the
What?
whole series of Hawkeye.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. All right. Cool. Our next
And we
question.
know Huber loves Batman New 52.
Yes.
Go, go.
All right. Our next question is from Caesar Villa. This is a 3-part. Please don't skip. The first and last part are really fast.
Ouch.
All right, Caesar, I'll take your word for it. The ones that liked Metroid Other M, please raise your hand.
What if I thought it was decent?
Yeah.
I liked some of the gameplay.
You have to be able to go on record and just say the simple sentence, I like Metroid Other M. Does that qualification... If that
Sure, whatever.
qualification doesn't fix... All right, we got Bloodworth. He's the only one. The ones who didn't raise their hand, I'm guessing everybody, but those are his words, not mine. Please, just a quick reason why you didn't like it.
I never played it.
Okay, that's good.
The story was annoying and didn't make sense.
Switching between third person to first person felt awful. The story was absolutely atrocious, and it felt like really betrayed what the spirit of Metroid was about. And it felt extremely linear. Like, you think about the sprawling map of Super Metroid, and it just didn't have that at all. So kind of my quick hit answers. Anybody
What's
else?
The third part.
It was in my opinion, it was the equivalent of what Episode 1 did to Star Wars, is what Other M's story did to Metroid.
Well said. All right, third part. Raise your hand if you beat Metroid Other M.
I think I did.
Damiani, are you raising your hand?
Yeah, I wanted to say a quick thing. I was the one who did all the review capture, most of the review capture for that review at GT.
Who did the review? Do you remember?
Shane, right?
Yeah. So if you watch that review that IGN recently uploaded to the Game Trailers channel, that was me playing it. So yes,
Is
I
that
did
why
beat
it's
it.
all so bad?
Huh? No, it's pro. Look how fast it's aiming and stuff with that aiming. The Wii remote aiming. It's pretty good.
Good job. Good job with that remote.
They're like an old married couple. Okay, our next question comes from Michael Reimar. He says, "Hi guys, this question is for Huber. Any chance you could go back reading comments and responding to them like you did on Huber Hype? I always like that fan interaction, and I miss its absence. Doing awesome work, guys. 40K all the way."
The next Huber Hype or Huber Syndrome will be up Thursday. So.
Or is it Wednesday or Thursday that it's going up?
Thursday. Yeah, whoops. It'll be up Thursday, so check out that one.
Just
Is that
because.
a hint?
Hint.
Is that a hint? Will it have some stuff from comments?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Huber, just because it's so adorable, can you explain to people why Huber Syndrome went up on Wednesday this week instead of Thursday?
I thought it was Thursday.
He was bugging me about a thumbnail. Like, man, I just kind of got started. What's going on? Okay.
I was like, Blood, you have that thumbnail, man? Like, this is gonna go up, dude. What's the deal? Like.
That's incredible.
Well, what's funny is you were streaming that day too, so you had the streaming schedule right in your head,
I
but
know.
not your show schedule.
Our next question comes from Benny Samuelson. Mirror's Edge is finally coming out. Ian mentioned it briefly on the podcast this week, but then you didn't even mention it for EA's press conference. Okay. Do you think they will show it off at all? I mean, this is...
Weren't we talking about it in that press conference section?
And you can play it right now. Does any ally still care? Okay. All right.
Ben's offended.
I think he's implying that we don't care about Mirror's Edge, and I don't think that's fair at all. I think I know personally I'm super excited. Like, I'm gonna be there day one.
Yeah,
I don't
play
play
it.
Yeah.
Me too. I don't, and the thing is, I really don't believe EA will talk about it in their press conference. Maybe
Why?
if there's DLC, but games that are out generally aren't like don't get stage demos at E3.
Wait, when did it come out?
The 7th.
Really?
So the week
Yeah.
before E3. Yep.
Oh my god, I didn't know that.
I think they'll talk about it. I'm willing to take that. I think they'll talk about it.
I kind of don't think so. I mean, unless
I could be
something
wrong.
actually comes out that week, usually they don't.
You gotta move units though. You gotta push those units.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's also not like if it were Battlefield, then yeah, I would see them talking about
We'll see
it.
the
But
trailer.
yeah, I don't know. I don't feel that.
Our next question comes in from Michael Wilson. And I like this question. Any plans to use that custom PC for more video content about indie games? There's a lot of crap out there, but there's also a lot of inspiring creativity. And I want to take this one real quick. So, like, covering indie games that release on Steam every week, it's just because, like you said, there's a lot of crap, and like curating that stuff and figuring out what's good and what's worth covering is. I just don't think we're at a state to really do that effectively. When like right now we have a hard enough time covering the games, like bigger games and games that we're all already super interested in. Like we're already struggling to do that, and so we're just not at a point to where we could do like greenlight stuff or like, hey, somebody said this was cool on Steam. But I don't think it's like something that we would completely rule out. Like maybe in the future, like I would love to do more PC game coverage and more independent coverage and stuff like that. But just where we're at right now, I don't think it's possible.
There
Yeah,
was a game.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
There was a game this week that I was gonna like try to do a bonus stream of, but then I played it for like 15 minutes. And like I'm just not having fun with this, so
Yeah.
I don't have time for that.
Yeah, a lot of us aren't. We're not really in the same space anymore. Kind of like we are game trailers, so it's kind of hard for us just to get together and want to do something spontaneous like that. We only get together about once a week. Like we could talk about stuff during that, but we usually don't have enough time. We only have we have like 1 or 2 full-time people, so most of us are part-time. So
Yeah.
like Ben said, we're struggling to do all we can right now still.
And that's to kind of hop off on that in case this question comes up later. That's why things like the Mario RPG stream haven't happened. It's not that we don't want to do it. It's just there's just not time for it, and we don't like. I hate to sound like a shill here, but if we did ever reach that 50,000 and we did get the studio, things like that, like it just opens up so many possibilities, and it might make those streams a little bit easier to do. So.
Ew. To play this on computer, I have to get Origin? Well, not buying
Oh
it.
yeah, that's how that works. Yeah.
Our next-
Sorry, EA.
Our next question comes from Haya. He says, my question is for Brandon Jones, who's not here. I'm going to read the question anyway, but yeah, unfortunately, I don't want to speak for Brandon. He says, besides Disney Infinity figures, what is your second favorite Disney or non-Disney item you like to collect? And how often do you rearrange your collections and on your shelves? I will save this. I will give this a like.
I'd say
Disney
wall art.
Infinity Power Discs.
What did you
He has,
say?
Wall art.
he
wants
has
to get
all
us-
the that Lego Dimension stuff too. He showed off in the Cup of
That's
Jones.
not Disney, blood.
Our next question is from Nick. Coming from the Napa Valley of Beer, Colorado, what is everyone's favorite beer? If not that, any sleeper hit titles you guys are looking forward to this year for games? Favorite beer?
Riptide GP Renegade.
Thank you, Kyle.
Very hoppy.
Very hoppy.
I like dark beers. I like oatmeal stouts, chocolate oatmeal stouts. Three Philosophers was good. Maudit tastes like you're drinking bread. Newcastle's good if you're just in a bar or Guinness.
Yeah.
I really like Samuel Adams Winter Lager a lot. I've had a lot of that in my time. It's good, like when you're sitting around with the family at Christmas, having a winter lager and opening presents is a good time.
I like Angry Orchard cider. So delicious.
I love that answer.
Yeah, I don't really have a favorite beer, but my favorite beers are usually sours.
That's a good answer. I like sours too. I also like red ale a lot.
Ooh, yeah, red ale's good.
Ooh, yeah.
There's an okonomiyaki place that I've gone to a couple times with a friend that has like a blueberry beer.
Ooh, nice. Blueberry beers are good.
Sleeper Hit Games, I think Grand Kingdom looks incredible.
What is that?
It's like a strategy turn-based RPG coming out.
Cool.
And
Can something be a sleeper hit if it's not out yet?
What? No, he said like what? I think the way that I'm going to phrase the question is, what games do you think could be sleeper hits that are coming out this year?
Grand Kingdom.
Grand Kingdom does
Looks
look
so
sick.
good.
It really does look sick.
Yep.
Another sleeper hit that I'm extremely looking forward to is Zero Time Dilemma, part of the Zero Escape series, coming out next month, June 28th.
I am Setsuna.
Yeah, good call, Brad. Very good call.
Mm-hmm.
Explain what I Am Setsuna is for those who are unfamiliar.
So, I am Setsuna, from what I've seen, it looks kind of like a harkening back to at least the battle system way of like Chrono Trigger, like doing combo attacks. It's like a isometrical. It looks almost like a Dreamcast game, right? Like the graphic fidelity of it.
Yeah, 100%.
But it's a Square Enix JRPG, so it looks like a love letter to the old JRPG fans.
They
It
started
has a
a
very
studio just to make that game.
yeah.
Just to make RPGs. I love that.
Tokyo
The combat
RPG Studio.
system is pretty much Chrono Trigger. Like it's you can do like dual attacks and stuff. It's great. Looking forward to it. Our next question. I always love when I recognize the name. Another great fan from Andy Dogtype Aiken. He says, "Hello, Easy A. In the latest Cup of Jones, Brandon mentioned that he has a ton of love and respect for Screw Attack. We were wondering if it's possible that you will be making an appearance at SGC/RTX this year. A bunch of fans from chat are going, and it would be incredible to meet you."
Well, we haven't been invited, but
Yeah, I think, yeah.
No one cares about us.
well, like Jones is at the kind of funny thing right now. Like he might go there too. The thing is, like we have to like pay for our own travel now.
We were invited to kind of funny thing. Just want to let that say that.
We were or we're not?
We were.
The rest of us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
I
the
think
I
pay
never saw that invite.
Yeah, we discussed it a little bit. Yeah, we were all. I mean, but again, it's one of those things. Like it's all coming out of our own time, our own pockets. So.
Yeah.
But I was thinking about doing a road trip to go up there.
Ooh.
I would not be
Blood's going?
surprised to see those collaborations, or us having guest appearances at those. Maybe not this year. I mean, certainly possible this year. I mean, I think this is more like in Jones if he's been talking to them or not, if they have any interest. But in the future, I wouldn't be surprised if one of us showed up to one of those, to either RTX or SGC.
It's the same thing now.
Screw Attack Gaming Convention, SGC. Gotta say that right.
Screw Attack Gaming Convention is Rooster Teeth Convention now.
Yeah, they're both together. Yeah, they used to be separate. One was in Dallas, one's Austin, but they're both going to be in the Austin area now at RTX, I believe.
Yep, at the same time.
Yeah.
All right, our next question. It's a heavy hitter. And keep in mind, we have a lot of questions. Howdy, allies. Nathan and Elena were playing a certain game in the early chapters of Uncharted 4. That scene brought such a smile to my face.
Oh, do I need to mute if this is spoilers?
Don't worry. I was worried about that too, but don't worry. Because of the Easter egg they were playing, it was because of the character and emotion between the two. That's why I liked the scene, because of the emotion. It felt like they were real and in that moment. What moments in gaming particularly captured humanity so well that you could believe they were real?
Metal Gear Solid 3 ending.
Yes, well said.
Nice. Humanity.
The beginning of The Last of Us felt real to me.
Nice.
Yeah, the first 10 minutes of that game are amazing.
How do you feel about the other minutes?
Not great.
You were just
Well, Huber's answer was too real.
The ending of Persona 4 to me, I'm not going to spoil it for anybody, but
Oh my goodness! Yes.
like on the floor in the fetal position, bawling. Yeah, it was. It felt like I had gone on this journey with friends, like actual friends. So.
I gotta finish that dang game.
Yeah, you do.
There's a couple moments in Life is Strange that really got me.
Yeah, Life is Strange is good. Yeah, just I think some of those, you know, I mean, this is why I brought it up so much last year. Is just some of those moments in The Witcher when like people just have those facial expressions where they look at you, you know, and it's like, really, like that's it. That's the whole response is just in that facial performance, and so I thought that was really cool.
Then they ask you to play a game of Gwent.
But even some of those guys, you know, like
Yeah.
just random innkeepers were like really awesome looking.
Witcher 3 is awesome. Kyle Bossman, we haven't heard from you.
I'm going to bounce back on Uncharted, but for a different reason. I kind of went into this in the most recent Bossman at Home, but just like when Nathan Drake does a cool thing and then goes, hoo, 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 just that, you know, it's not a wisecrack. It's just kind of him like relating to what just happened. That to me is humanity. That to me is like leveling with this world. I'm into that.
I like that.
I'll second that. There were a few times playing Uncharted 4 where I said out loud, like I jumped and I was like, oh crap, or whatever, and then the character said literally the same thing that I said out loud.
Yeah,
And
I think
was
that's
like,
really cool. Yeah.
They knew that's what I was going to say.
Our next question comes from Cleet is McGinty. Hey, allies. So Kyle obviously still loves Tetris, but are there any games you guys love and still play that are on the older side? Holy shit, like everything.
So many. Yeah,
Like,
everything.
there are games that I like try to play through once a year. Like I try to play Metal Gear Solid 1 once a year, Castlevania 1,
Cool.
Symphony of the Night, Super Metroid, a bunch of stuff, a bunch of JRPGs. Yeah.
I have Streets of Rage paused over in the other room.
Awesome. Well, I mean, obviously, I just finished my Link's Awakening full playthrough, and I'm excited to play more Game Boy games in that crazy setup, as well as Game Boy Advance and GameCube and whatever else. So.
I play Symphony of the Night every couple of years, and at the old office I got into Vampire the Masquerade and Bloodlines in a big way again. Yeah. So vampire games, I guess?
Yeah.
Games with vampires in them?
All right, I'm
Hit
hearing awkward silence, so we're moving on.
Awkward silence.
Yuri Divinity Van Leeuwen, another longtime fan, love Divinity. He says,
Oh, now you know Divinity's real name.
yeah. Maybe I spoiled
Wow.
the mythology there. Sorry. This is cool. All right, get ready. Brace yourselves. Okay, you wake up. You look around. You see that you're in the White House. You walk around just a bit. People start saluting you. Suddenly, you realize you're the President of the United States. You walk around, confused, and you head toward the Oval Office. You sit down, still confused about what actually is happening. All of a sudden, a couple of suits walk in the room. They say you can create any law you want. You have a massive budget to fund this law. You can also use this money for other purposes, like sending every American a certain gift or erect a huge statue, for example. What would you do?
What?
The thought and creativity put into this question is amazing.
Oh my gosh.
We don't know how long we're going to be in this body. We got to act fast.
Mm-hmm.
I would make an announcement, and I would say, as the first lesbian president of the United States, I declare that everyone gets one free coupon for French toast every week.
Nice.
From where? Where do they
Anywhere.
redeem that coupon?
You take it to anywhere that serves French toast, and you get a free serving of French toast.
I would make a law that says you have to finish Bloodborne and ending of the game and send it to the White House as proof of completion.
What happens if you don't do that? What happens?
Yeah, what's the penalty?
Arrested.
You have to keep playing until you beat it, and if you refuse, you get detained, and in the detained cell, you have to play
Oh my
Battleborn for a set amount of time.
You're a psycho.
Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry to be a wet blanket. I'm just going to throw all that money into education.
Wet blanket Boston over here. Holy cow.
Yeah, arts
Jesus.
education.
Sorry, go ahead, Damiani.
Yeah, if we're not obviously we're not doing serious answers, so my joke answer would be I would immediately pass a law that says anyone who says anything other than A Link to the Past is the best Zelda game, we're gonna put you into a group together, and you're just gonna have to listen over and over again to reviews of how good A Link to the Past is until you comply.
No, I'm leaving. No, it's fine. If you're president, Damiani, I'm leaving. I'm leaving the country. It's fine.
I
We're
feel
gonna
like
make
this is
this
Kyle's
country
version
great.
of Homefront. In a weird way.
Kyle's
Wow.
version of Homefront, Damiani becomes president.
We're gonna build a Zelda. It's gonna be a beautiful Zelda.
My answer is not nearly as funny as that, so I'm going to skip that, my answer. But Brad, do you have anything?
Mine was going to be, Damiani kind of, I'm going to piggyback off Damiani's. Mine was going to be Link to the Past is required to graduate high school, so you have to finish the game.
That's good. Okay, our next question. Thank you, Divinity. That was a lot of fun. Our next question comes in from Raymond Chow. Oh, fuck. All right, here we go. I've heard a lot about the Captain Toad treasure tracker debate on its genre, adventure versus puzzle.
Here we go.
Oh.
I never...
Here we go.
All right.
An adventure puzzler.
All right, Kyle.
It's an adventure puzzler.
Kyle, please keep in mind we have a lot of questions.
Okay.
Here we go, Kyle.
None of these comments have likes. This one has 2 likes, but I never got to hear the actual arguments. I would love to hear Kyle's thought and what the counterpoints were. Thank you for doing this. Love you guys.
Thank you for doing this.
Kyle, where do you think you got open?
I think from Nintendo's own description, it was a platformer. You don't need to jump for your game to be a platformer. It is an adventure game. It is a game in which you are progressing as a character through worlds. I don't know what you need. Yeah, there are puzzles in there, but there's also just regular video game levels in there where it's like avoid the shy guy, where it's just like get to this point, be good enough to get to this point. It's not all puzzles. And so just to call it a puzzle game is mostly from people who have not played through the game, is usually the people who call it a puzzle game.
Wow.
Then you have your Damianis who, like, I guess are not attuned to various video game genres. They like to simplify things in ways that I don't think are fair, like
Kyle
how grand a
Bossman.
video game is.
Hey.
Kyle Bossman, I'm going to act as
Yeah.
a neutral party here. So what I did is I just typed platformer into Google. I clicked on the Wikipedia link, which was the first thing that came up.
Sure.
And here's the first sentence of that article. Neutral party here again, not taking sides. It says, a platform game or platformer is a video game which involves guiding an avatar to jump between suspended platforms over obstacles or both to advance the game.
On the back of the box, it says the captain's moves. Captain Toad can't jump, but he can trounce enemies. And
Keep
switch up
going,
the
Brad.
terrain.
Keep
In
going.
his own unique way, of course. That's it.
No, Kyle, right
No
here.
jumping. It's not a platformer.
Captain Toad game page, right here. I screen shared with you. Category: puzzles and strategy. Let's go to Wikipedia.
Yeah,
Mhm.
action puzzle game.
It's an action puzzle game.
Dude, it's so red right
So we
now.
have Nintendo
strategy,
itself saying it's a
interaction.
puzzle game.
No.
Nintendo
There
saying
you
it's a puzzle
go.
game.
Okay,
There
for
you
the
go.
first thing, that's just like the weird tags. Like, that's not Nintendo
Oh, no,
themselves
no,
saying this
that's-
is what kind of game this is. That's just
Oh,
some
No, that
like,
is.
online
Okay.
database
It's
manager.
Nintendo. Okay.
That is Nintendo. You work for Nintendo. That
Yeah,
makes
you
him
work for Nintendo. If you do that, only they can change that.
Bossman, you'll like this. I'm looking at the Wikipedia description for action puzzle games.
Hmm.
It requires that the player manipulates pieces in a real-time environment. So it includes things like Team Ico's Ico, Shadow of the Colossus, Lode Runner, Lemmings, Braid, Portal, and Tetris.
Oh my God! So hold on. Everyone here is prepared now because Wikipedia is our #1 resource. We're all gonna say Eco is a puzzle game. And
Ico
Shadow
is
of
a
the
puzzle
Colossus-
game, you psychopath!
So Shadow of the Colossus wins Puzzle Game of the Year.
Captain
Ico is
Toad.
a puzzle game.
Puzzle Quest. Look at this. Amazon's product page. A puzzle game. I don't know. Like, I think the marketing people have spoken. It is.
Hold on. We have all collectively agreed that IGN's word is law. Like, that's just
Yes.
been accepted
What?
by us. Yep.
Yes.
They're the most informed video game
Legally,
commenters.
yes,
Yes, we are legally bound to say that IGN's word is law.
Yes.
In the Captain Toad Treasure Tracker review, which the headline is totally great, which is good stuff. Marty Silva says Captain Toad Treasure Tracker is one of the smartest, most charming puzzle games of 2014.
See, like, I hate
Here's what
that
the
opening
fans say.
sentence. First of all, yeah, that's like this
But,
is a
like,
cute
wait.
game. Charming is like the wrong.
Bossman, you're...
Uh-oh, Kyle.
What? Go ahead.
The fans on Super Mario Wiki call it a puzzle platform game.
What's that second word?
Platform.
Okay,
Like a
so it's a
platformer.
platformer.
Right,
Yes.
right.
The
When
fans
you're
side
on
with
a
Kyle.
platform, you're not platforming. It's not a platformer.
Yeah, it doesn't
You're
say,
just on a
platformer. It just says puzzle platform. So I don't think that means a platformer, Kyle. I think I got
Yes,
your.
it
I'm
does.
sorry.
The
I got your
platform
hopes
is a
up.
puzzle.
I got your hopes up, Kyle, for nothing. I'm sorry.
You know what my brain relates this back to in terms of games is Adventures of Lolo. That's like
Oh wow, that is
closest comparison in term, and then like that was like unquestionably a puzzle game, but it was.
Yeah, what are the cutscenes like in that game?
What?
Yeah, what are the cutscenes?
It's like
like
asking what the
Angela Lolo?
cutscenes were like in the first Final Fantasy. They didn't exist. What are you talking about?
You could say any game is an adventure game, even Tetris. The Tetrominoes set out to fall down and make lines in their adventure to not stack up
When
the...
Ben was reading the definition of a puzzle game, it was talking about manipulating pieces in an environment. It was not talking about manipulating a character, a video game character.
Wait, you're
Every
assertion-
Tetris is a character and tells a story.
Wait, you're saying that a puzzle game can't have a character that you play as?
Have you played Portal?
Have you played the Talos Principle?
I think you both are right, and that we live in the day and age where genres are mixed and skewed, and I think it is an adventure puzzle platform game. Captain Toad defies all genres.
Okay, so I from the official Easy Allies account, I have tweeted at Nintendo of America.
Oh no.
I asked them, is Captain Toad Treasure Tracker a platformer or a puzzle game? And I'm eagerly awaiting their response.
I hope they say
No, that's not the question. It's adventure.
Who made Captain Toad? Was it Koizumi or Tezuka, or which team made it? Because when we go to E3, we're going to try and get an appointment. We're going to ask an interview question. You and me, Kyle, we're going to ask this question to Nintendo at E3, the Japanese developer.
He's shaking his head because he's afraid. He knows he's wrong.
I think it's time to move on. I think it's time to move on.
I would concede an action puzzle game for sure. Adventure is a stretch.
Okay. All right. Thank you, everybody, for your amazing input. Yoon Kim says, "Hello, allies. Hope you guys are doing well. Thank you.
Hello.
I am curious about what and why you guys love about video games, and I am sure that all of you and all of the allies love what you guys are doing for EZA. I'm curious Okay, so there are two questions here. What do we love most about video games, and what part of the job excites you the most?"
They're fun.
I love going on adventures through video games. I love being in a world and navigating through that world, much like Captain Toad's Treasure Tracker.
Great puzzle
basically,
game.
I get to be
puzzles as you go.
I get to what puzzles do you solve? Have either of you played this game?
All right. No, Kyle, don't. We're done. We're done.
Okay.
We're done. We're done.
My favorite part of the job is, I guess it might be the interactions. It might be like doing the podcasts. The most fun I have with Easy Allies right now is shooting Brandon Plays Pokemon, because we're just gushing about a dumb game that's super old, but we just get as much time as we want and get to go as in-depth as we want, and that's so fun. We didn't get to do that at Game Trailers. We couldn't have made the show at Game Trailers, and so I think that's something that's very exciting to me.
We were going to make the show at Game Trailers.
It would have been 15 minutes long. It would not have been.
Oh yeah, because
1
the
hour
player
and 10
couldn't
minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we couldn't have been this extensive.
My favorite part about video games is looking at character designs from especially anime games and complaining about them on 4chan or NeoGAF, specifically female character designs, and just talking about them for hours and hours. That's my favorite part of the medium, and I think that's when it's at its best. And my favorite part of Easy Allies is honestly it wasn't Tabletop Adventures at GT. There's actually a point where I didn't like Tabletop Adventures very much, but it has been Tabletop Escapades because I don't know. I just think we've gotten into this groove where everybody's having a blast, and I look forward to it. When my Saturday is okay, we're gonna go shoot D&D today. I pretty much just get to go and laugh and have fun with you guys, and it's awesome.
I'm no spoilers, but I'm haunted by some things that happened in the 3rd or 4th episode that come out after this cycle or whatever, 2 or 3 from now. Oh my god. I think about it every day.
You're excited or you hated it?
I feel guilt.
Me too. That's good though.
Me too.
Good.
I feel bad about.
I had an hour and a half conversation with Brad about dude, I hope people don't take this the wrong way. Oh my god, it's gonna ruin my life.
It got I'm upset. I'm upset
Me
about
too.
it.
I've lost sleep.
I mean, I love it. I think it's great and compelling content, but I feel bad. It feels like the things that my character has done. Oh man. Anyway, Easy Allies is great. It's fun. Making a song every week is fun.
I don't know about any of you, but not having to drive to an office every single day right now is pretty nice. Especially for, I mean, I think I might speak a little bit for Ben as well, for how far
Yeah.
we currently live. Like, that's pretty nice. But also, we don't have to show up at like 9 or 10. Not that we did anyway back then, but not having to drive with that early traffic commute sometimes, so awesome. So all the shitty things about LA aren't so shitty right now. So that's good. In terms of video games, but also obviously getting to work with these guys again. Because I was getting lonely by myself in Texas, you know, with no friends and stuff. That was sort of the half-truth. Video games, it was like getting to review games like Sonic Colors and looking at all those amazing, wonderful, beautiful comments from the lovely people who fully understood the review situation and what reviewers go through, such as, you know, apparently playing on an unfinished version of the game, and making up cool conspiracy theories about your review for why the controls weren't good, because obviously you didn't play the final build, so you must go back and re-review the game right now with the retail copy, because then the game will get a much higher score. I was surprised, though. That's good, because they were so mature and well thought out arguments that they didn't resort to "you're just bad at video games." You know, the whole journalists are bad at video games. They went with the game's not finished yet. It's an early build.
That's like 4 years ago. You gotta let that one go.
That's like one of the best parts. Like, you get to have those moments. I look forward to having those moments in the future.
That's all the podcasts, because when GT went down, I was like so bummed, because like I love hanging out with you guys and like obviously talking about video games. It's like the best part, and that is exactly what we do on the podcasts. I remember shooting the first podcast of Easy Allies. It was like, yes, we get to do this again. And anytime we stream, whether it's group or solo or co-op or whatever, because it's like live interacting with the viewers and the patrons and the fans, and that like in real time, which I love.
So this is just what I feel like. You have a red truck, right? All you guys are saying, it's a red.
Nope.
It's
All right,
a red.
we're moving on to the next.
Where's the animal joke in this?
I'm gonna. All right, Kyle is muted.
Wow.
Wrecked.
He's on
Wait.
timeout.
How do I unmute him?
Nope, you have to kick him now and re-invite.
How do I? I actually don't know how to unmute him. Oh, no. All right. Whoops.
You should just give it a go.
Click his box.
Oh, wait. Is he
I think
unmuted?
Arrow.
I think I'm
Okay.
alright.
All right. Just letting you know. Watch yourself. All right.
There's a sports show I love where the host does that to people.
Okay.
Yeah, it's called Pardon the
Wow.
Interruption.
All right. Our next question comes from Adam Mulaney. Man, corralling you guys is a chore. All right. Despite all the success Sony has had with the PS4, I'm going to play the bad guy and bring up something I think is one of their biggest failures: PlayStation Now. Here in Wales, it's currently $12.99 a month, £12. I assume that's around $20, and you get poorly streamed PS3 games. Microsoft's backward compatibility program has rubbed even more salt in the wound for Sony, and I'm curious what the allies think of PlayStation Now. Is it an experiment which will give Sony vital knowledge in the future, or is it an overpriced, irrelevant service that Sony has dropped the ball with?
I think it was an experiment that proved irrelevant, and they're trying to charge to make it relevant, and they're just going to sunset it eventually.
Yeah, I don't think the tech is there necessarily for everyone to use that service. Like, not enough people have bandwidth for all of that, and it's probably a little too much.
Yeah, I think that. Well, I think one of the failures is that there doesn't seem to be a good incentive or any good way to try it out. So it's like, what do I, you know? Because I think when it first came around, it was like, oh, what do I want to do to try it out? I was like, oh, I have to like buy a game to try it out, or I'm not going to spend the money to do that. So
There's no other free trial?
maybe there is now, but yeah, it's just one of those things where when I specifically went to try it out, like it didn't feel like there was a good way to do it. And then, I mean, I haven't even thought about PlayStation Now.
I remember.
don't think anyone
I
has.
forgot that existed.
I remember the moment I wrote off PlayStation Now. I went into the PlayStation store, I saw PlayStation Now, I was like, oh, I'll check this out. I clicked on the PlayStation Now button, and the very first thing I saw, the game that they were advertising, was Final Fantasy 13. Like, oh man, wouldn't it be cool to stream Final Fantasy 13? And I said, no, it would not, and then I closed it.
It's like super interesting to me because I think there was a time when I think it was called On Live was the dedicated console.
Yeah.
Guy can
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about OnLive.
there were so many like packers in this world who said, "This is the future. Get ready, everybody," and it was just hot air. And like Sony spent so much money on Gaikai, bought into it, and really, I think people just want to own stuff.
Yeah.
I think when it comes to games,
well
it's
said.
not like streaming music. You want to own games, and so I don't know. I'm glad they at least tried it. They still support it. They're still adding new games to now, which to me implies that it is some success. But I'm glad they didn't pour everything into it.
And maybe too, people want like specific games. So like gamers or like I don't know. I can speak for me personally. Like I have the games I want, and it's like the PS2 to PS4 conversions are really cool because it's like, oh, I want that one specific game. Whereas PS Now is like this huge catalog of like, well, I already have like 80% of these games.
Well, and think about like when you sign up for Spotify, right?
Mhm.
The chances are the artist that you're searching for, you'll be able to find, right? You type in Led Zeppelin, it's there. You type in like Metallica or something, it's there. Whatever you want, it's pretty much there for the most part.
Metallica there.
Metallica is there, yes. I've listened to them
Okay.
extensively.
I'm surprised.
When you go to PlayStation Now, and you like, let's say you're like, oh, I love this PS3 game and I sold it and I want it back. Like, there's a good chance you won't be able to find what you want. And so, like, I think you just need to get to that point with all streaming services where you have enough that people actually want to buy into it. Our next question, I'm going to edit this one a little bit. He says, who are your favorite video game characters of all time? And I'm just going to have you guys name one video game character. That's your favorite.
Albert Wesker.
Why? Real quick.
Because he's a mastermind, and he has a really good arc from game 1 to game 5, like throughout. Some games he takes off, he's in the background manipulating events. Some games he has a more hands-on approach, he's on the field doing stuff. And he just has a very good beginning, middle, and end.
Come on, guys.
Parap the Rapper, just enthusiastic, and he's just dealing with real life stuff, like having to go to the bathroom.
I like it. That's a good answer.
I'll go with Samus.
Nice. I was not expecting that, Blood. I legit was expecting Geralt of Rivia. That's very cool.
I mean, this answer is weird, but the characters I always like the most are the ones that I create in the game. Also, Claire and Samus.
Ian saying the characters that I create is like so good.
That's an eye roller.
I love it. I love it.
Whatever, I relate to them.
Absolutely. That's cool.
Like
Brad,
my
you got anything?
shepherd?
Oh yeah,
Yes.
I know. Cloud is actually one of my favorite characters because he's such a deeply flawed character who struggles throughout the entire game. But near the end of the game, he finally finds the way to conquer all the things that have been holding him back the entire game.
Definitely. Mine is also a Final Fantasy character. My favorite character ever in anything is probably Princess Garnet, like Dagger, whatever you want to call her. Like her story and like what she goes through. At the time I played it as a young lad, it hit me pretty emotionally, and I think that's my favorite character, or certainly favorite Final Fantasy character. So, yep. Damiani, you're thinking hard. It looks like.
I know. Like I have the kid version of me answers, but like I've never given this question a lot of thought lately. I mean, I can tell you what my favorite characters were like when I was still in school and stuff. I mean, I used to like because Metal Gear was my favorite series, so I mean, I obviously like Snake and the Otacon, the kind of the bromance they had going on there, especially like in Metal Gear Solid 2 and how it developed. It was really cheesy. The ending of Metal Gear Solid 1 where they survive, and then everything that happens in Metal Gear Solid 2, like it's pretty hilarious how that plays out. But I mean, to my current one, I'd have to think about that more. I can't give you an honest answer right now.
We got a speed run through the rest of these.
We got a speed run. We're doing a speed
All right,
run.
Speed run.
You got a quick run. Because you've never done this before, so you don't know the best route to finishing these questions.
Yeah.
Test
A
route.
haphazard, reckless run.
Our next question comes from Forrest Polk. He says, "What would your ideal sports game be?"
Hardcore
Hearthstone
backyard
is my ideal
badminton.
sports game.
Backyard.
RPG elements like Mario Golf on the Game Boy Color.
I like it.
Mario Golf is so good.
Snap. 10 seconds and we're moving on.
Silence too long. Next question.
Next question.
More 1080 snowboarding.
Yeah.
All right, I like it. Our next question is from V8 Dave. Allies, have you ever considered doing some kind of video game-based game show?
Yes.
Yes.
We're trying to think of it so you can host.
My lifelong dream is to be a game show host. So
Oh my gosh.
It's
yes.
true. Next question. Go.
Okay, next question, go, is from Andreas. He says, we've seen Ian's impressive musical talents, witnessed Huber's glorious return to the clarinet. There was a guitar on the wall behind Brad. Blah, 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 blah. The question is, do any other allies play musical instruments, and would you be willing or able to perform something together for a special occasion, like an Easy A birthday or a Patreon milestone?
Oh my God, let's make a band.
Oh my goodness. I would
Make
love
a
to see
band.
that band.
I can play a little bit of guitar and drums, and I'd be willing to give it a shot for the sake of the allies.
I'd give it a shot, but it'd have to be like a basic.
Yeah, we're going basic here.
Yeah, we're hot crust buns.
You can throw together a pretty cool rock song, not that difficult to do.
With a clarinet.
So it sounds like we would definitely consider it.
Next
Cool.
question.
Next question.
Our next question is from Garrett. It is rumored that Microsoft will release 2 new systems over the next 2 years, one of which is supposed to be paired with the Oculus. Will Microsoft be too late to the VR party, or will it give them an advantage over Sony with Oculus having more time to develop and improve?
I feel like the
Dude,
first one out of the
that could be
gate
late.
has the advantage, as history has shown. So
I think
What do you
whichever
think about
VR platform's more widely adopted in the end will be the one that benefits. So if it becomes Oculus, Microsoft will be better despite whatever happens with Morpheus.
What's that Harada VR PSVR
Oh, Summer
game?
Lessons.
Yeah, so that wins by default. Okay, our next question is from Guillermo. Maybe this is a jerk move. Let me know. Guillermo already asked a question, so I think we're gonna move on to the next one.
Sorry,
yeah,
Guillermo.
move on.
Sorry, Guillermo. Ya boy Benny B. I like that. Okay, he says, "Hello, allies. I've been a huge fan for over a decade now, and there is a little review that was published many years ago for a game called Hummer Badlands for the Xbox. I feel that this review, aside from retrospectives, was some of the best work you've ever done. I understand that in your limited money, you can only get games everyone is into. In the future, can we expect something of this caliber?"
Bloodworth, what's the deal with this?
I don't know what he's talking about.
I
Hummer Badlands.
do not even know about Hummer
Dang,
Badlands.
we need
I know
Jones.
about Ultimate Duck Hunting, but I don't know Hummer
Is
Badlands.
this
I
like
also know Ultimate Duck Hunting.
the joke bad review? I mean, they weren't jokes, but like the serious reviews that we did that turned into jokes because they were so bad.
Right.
Like the G.I. Joe Rise of Cobra review. That
Yeah.
like, James
Vampire
Andre
Rain.
had a field day
Pocket
making
Pool.
jokes.
Hummer Badlands GT review. It's on YouTube. I'm gonna watch it later.
God.
I'm
Yeah,
watching
let us
I'm watching
know.
it right now.
I don't think we'll be doing any like joke reviews because we have such a hard time getting real reviews out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are serious.
Sadly.
This review is the best tagline. Prepare yourself for some rough terrain.
All right. Okay.
It goes to like MS Paint stuff at about 2.5 minutes in.
All right, moving on.
Or
Check that
conventions
review
involved,
out. Hummer Badlands on YouTube if you're curious. Our next question, Young Lee, he says, "Hello, Easy Allies. Could you say one thing that you appreciate? Could you say one thing that you appreciate about the existence of PlayStation Vita?"
Persona 4 Golden.
Yes.
Persona 4 Golden and PS1 classics on the go. I've played like Resident Evil 1 and 2 and 3 on there in bed, and it is a
Final Fantasy
delightful
Tactics.
little way.
Gravity
Conan.
Rush is pretty cool. I'm glad it exists. Thank you.
Tearaway.
Tearaway. Good answer.
Fairway, Severed just came out.
Our next question comes from Dakota Hayes. Dear Allies, with Nintendo making some questionable choices for E3, it makes me wonder about their future. So my question is, what do you guys think the gaming world would be like if Nintendo decided to quit video games?
It'd be a dark day.
In
on
sad
humanity.
place.
It would
You think it would be
suck.
better, Ian?
I'm just saying that to be an ass.
It would suck so much.
Yeah, it'd suck.
They're like the kind-hearted, like center of emotional purity. They're like the naive child that's always positive and doesn't make good business decisions, but you need that in the world.
Yeah.
Our next question comes from Paul David Santana. This one's just a long one, so I'm gonna find the heart of it here. Hi, Allies. I have a somewhat personal question for you all. For the longest time, I've been trying to get my girlfriend interested in gaming, but without much success. The basics of gaming are physically difficult for her to learn. I tried to teach her with Mario 1, but the jumping was tough to learn as well. Do you or significant others play video games? If not, have you tried to get them to learn? And how did you do it if you were successful? I can answer this question. So the way that I did it is co-op games. Like, she doesn't like playing games by herself because that failure, I think, is more acute, and you don't have somebody to lean on. Also, Abby tends to like platform games where you're not moving around in 3 dimensions. And she plays Hearthstone every day now, which is super, super cool. And that's fun because, like, we can spectate each other and talk about it, and it's not, like, super fast-paced. So that was a really good game for us as well.
Yeah, I find that people have trouble with camera controls sometimes if they don't play a lot of games. So I think Diablo 3 on PS4, if you co-op it, is really good for that. Also, yeah, like things like RPGs or visual novels or Hearthstone. Yeah.
Yeah, I think people are just like everybody's into different games, and so what they like might surprise you. You know, look, my wife one day she like picked up Medal of Honor Frontline on the GameCube, and she, like you were saying, like she wasn't great at camera controls, but she was able to pick a sniper rifle and go through it slowly and just play through like every level until she mastered it, you know, and she just got completely in the zone on that. And you wouldn't have expected that, right? But you know, that's like she doesn't play a ton of shooters, but she still talks about going back and playing Frontline again, even though she's gotten like all the gold stars like 5 times.
Rad.
Our next question comes from Zelko. He says, "Greetings, allies from Quebec, Canada. This question is for Ben. Like yourself, I'm an Amiibo collector. I have every one released so far. I feel that Nintendo of America is not aiming Amiibo at fans and more so everybody, with retailer-exclusive Amiibo to short stock. What would you think if Nintendo had created a subscription based on top of retail? You could pay $10 and $20 a month and you get every Amiibo, or something in that vein. Because if you look at some of the rare ones, scalpers bought all stocks and sell them for 3, 4, 5 times as much the price. Anyway, end of the meme rant. You guys are doing a wonderful job. Keep it up. I think everybody can answer that question, but yeah, like there are a lot of people out there that want every Amiibo, and some jerks are making that very, very difficult. I don't think it's as much of a problem now as it was. Not that long ago. But yeah, I think that would be cool. I think that serves a certain audience. I don't know, like if you're paying $10 to $20 a month, that means like Nintendo would have to come out with new Amiibo every month, and I don't know if they're ready to do that, but yeah, I think it's a neat idea. Anybody else want to weigh in on that one?
I think it's a super cool idea because like basically when Disney Infinity got canceled, it was so much because they were like just producing too many figures. Like if you make too many Hulks, you just eat millions of dollars. That's so scary to me. And so like I think something like that would be great.
Should have just. I mean, the subscription service sounds like a good idea too, but they should have just sold them directly from their own store and just done like on a you know, they controlled everything. The like retail exclusive stuff like was what screwed it over here in North America. Like subscription service would have been great, yeah. I think they should have sold it direct and done pre-orders and like made as many as they needed based on the pre-orders.
Our next question is from Chad Ball. He says, "Do you think the transparency of Patreon will hurt Easy Allies? For example, how much you guys get per month?" No. I think people like to know how much we're getting, and they want to support us, and they want us to see us hit certain milestones. So if anything, I think it's helped us.
Yeah, we are very transparent.
Ask me
anything. Like it. We like being transparent.
All right, cool. Our next question, another one I recognize from Alec Church. He says, "Hey, allies, are any of you going to TwitchCon? It's in San Diego this year, and I work at the convention center."
Whoa,
we submitted a panel.
Oh, cool.
We're waiting to hear back if we got approved or not. So if that happens, yeah, there might be a bunch of us going. I don't know if anyone's going on of their own accord, though, if that doesn't happen.
I am just going to go ahead and set us up for disappointment a little bit. I don't think there's any way we're going to get through all questions, so I apologize. Thank you so much, everybody, for submitting.
How many more do you want to do, Ben? Let's give them a number.
We're going to go until 12:05. Let's see if we can get through 10 more questions.
Okay, that's the goal.
2:05.
2:05, Ben, or 12:05?
2:05. I don't know how numbers work. All right.
10 hours.
Next question is from David Kosel. This question is mainly for Ben. I've been a huge JRPG fan all my life, but I've never been able to get into Western RPGs. You know, Western fails, it's understandable. Every time I try to play Elder Scrolls, Dragon Age, or even Witcher 3, I can't finish them because I just don't care about the story or characters, and they don't have the charm I love so much about JRPGs. Is there any way I can change my mindset to appreciate this drama that has been so critically acclaimed? So you don't want to be like Huber. You don't want to go in like hating a Fallout, because then of course you're going to hate it. So you don't want to be like closed-minded like that. That's super bad. So my suggestion to you is, you know, like, just try to not dwell on your bad past experiences when approaching a game. But if you don't like something, you don't like something. You don't have to feel bad about that. Like, it's okay to not like a whole huge swath of games. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, that's why there's so many different things.
That's thousands of hours you now have back in your life to do other stuff.
Yeah.
To play other games. Like, don't try to like something you don't like.
Yeah, just spend more time with the things you do like.
Yeah. Next question.
Next question. Adam, has there been a TV show... Thank you, Kyle. Has there been a TV show, movie, or comic you really wish would have been made into a quality video game? We actually kind of already answered this.
We did. Next question.
This is number 9.
That's not number 9. This is number 9. Kyle?
Yeah.
Say number 9.
Number 9.
Okay, thank you. Captain Fancy Pants. Hey, guys. Another great month has gone by. Thanks for all your work. I was wondering if there's a game or franchise that is your dirty secret. Oh, wow. You know, that game you love to play even though everyone dumps on it. Mine is the Dynasty Warriors series. I bought every one of them, and I'm going to pre-order the next one. Okay, dirty secret.
Did you Never Dead.
My gosh.
Never Dead. I like the ideas in that game. It's a bad game that I respect.
Michael Damiani, we're going to go down the line here. Quick. Boom, boom, boom.
I can't think of something right now. Skip.
All right, Kyle Bossman.
Digimon.
All right, I like it. Ian.
I mean, I like a lot of weird stuff like Myst and all that stuff, but like the one that popped into my mind immediately was I played Honey Pop, not knowing it was like a sex game. I thought it was just a match-3 dating simulator, and then I was like, oh, there's nudity in this. But I actually kind of got connected to a couple of the characters.
Came in for the match 3, stayed for the nudity. Daniel Bloodworth.
Yep. Oh man, I don't know off the top of my head.
All right, Brad. Whoa.
No dirty secrets.
Tens only.
I think Senran Kagura and Hyperdimension Neptunia are very fun and enjoyable. And they're legitimately hilarious to me, so I enjoy those games. All right, the Hashtagonist, he says, if you guys could add one celebrity other than Amanda Troop to the Allies, who would you pick?
Vin Diesel. Obviously.
So Vin Diesel, Guillermo del Toro, Adam Sandler.
President Barack Obama.
Yeah.
Kyle Bossman.
Pass.
Okay, Ian.
Prima Agamemnon.
What?
Martha from Doctor Who.
Okay. Daniel Bloodworth.
Oh, that's a good one. I don't know. Kimmy Schmidt? I don't know.
Okay. All right.
T-Pain.
Thank you. That's good.
You're on a T-Pain kick recently.
I love him, dude. He was so genuine in that stream.
All right, T-Pain. Thank you. Our next question, number 7. Carlos Zuniga. When are you scheduling the Patreon meetup?
Good question.
After E3.
What?
After E3, for sure.
Okay, after E3, look forward to more news. The next one we kind of already answered. Number 6, Torre. Do you guys prefer a game with a full fleshed out story or games without a narrative but rich on lore?
Lore!
One for lore.
Both.
I prefer both as well. They're both equal.
Yeah.
I've seen them both better and both good, so it's really hard to prefer one over the other.
Well said, I agree. Our next question, number 5, comes from Rick Argomanis. Rick and Robo, another longtime fan. He's a good guy. I love Brandon Plays Pokemon. As Kyle said, it has been great to see a couple of the guys going in deep, talking about one single game. Once the series is wrapped up, any chance for something else? Ian plays Danganronpa, Kyle plays Silent Hill 2. I would love to see more of this kind of show from the Allies.
Agreed.
Yeah, the only issue here is the edit again. Jones just takes forever to edit that show, and I think that's why he's so scared to do more, is playing it every week and then editing it, and then talking about it for another hour after the stream is over. And so we're there till after midnight just talking about Pokemon. So we need two people who are okay with doing that with a whole series.
But we're not ruling it out. It could happen potentially.
Or the video just needs to be simpler. Like, don't put graphics in it, just bumpers and spit it out.
Yeah. I like the production value of Brandon Plays Pokemon, though. I really do. It's something I would want to keep. It's good. All right, number 4. Our question, it comes from Giulio. I butchered that. I apologize. Just a dumb question. No question. It's dumb. Why every one of you doesn't have a beard?
That's a great question.
Choice to be more visible on camera, or just a coincident personal choice? So I answered this yesterday during the Hearthstone stream. You don't want to see me with facial hair. I look like a pedophile, so that's why I don't have facial hair.
I can't stand any facial hair. I have OCD. It freaks me out, even like a little bit.
Huber shaves like a couple times a day.
Yeah.
Howie Mandel over here.
Yeah, I can't handle it.
I just get lazy and shave it sometimes.
Yeah, that's
I'm
more
probably
or
the
less.
stubbliest one besides Blood's beard, which is kind of funny.
I mean, and this isn't really a beard. This is about as
Goatee.
much as I can do.
That's a beard, man.
That's a goatee. That is a goatee.
Kyle
Not a
Boston,
beard.
why don't you have a beard?
I like to keep up a certain professionalism. You don't see newscasters with beards.
All right.
You don't see
Have fun.
newscasters and hoodies every day either.
Yeah.
So corporate Kyle
Boston.
strikes again. Moving on.
How's 1998, Boston?
Okay. Our next question comes in from Sam. I'm going to Disneyland in 2 weeks for my honeymoon. I haven't been in 20 years. What do the allies, especially Brandon, think I should do while I'm there?
Haunted Mansion.
Everything. Haunted Mansion, yes.
Yeah.
Go to New Orleans Square on Main Street and get a bowl of New England clam chowder. It's incredible. There's also a little hidden corn dog stand right off Main Street on the way to Tomorrowland. They have the
Right
best
side.
corn dogs in the biz. The magic shop is really cool and fun.
They're
Don't
still
make a
doing
schedule is what I would
hyperspace
recommend.
What's
Yes.
the restaurant? The Bayou, whatever, the one that's by
Don't
Bayou.
Bayou.
do the Blue Bayou.
Yeah.
Stay away from
Stay
that.
away.
one, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a tourist trap.
Yeah.
Hyperspace
Trap.
Mountain is really good if they're still doing that.
Which
I think
one?
it's Explore.
Hyperspace Mountain.
Space
Yeah.
Mountain's great.
Yeah,
well,
definitely,
Hyperspace Mountain is better.
definitely
Star
absorb as much context as you can.
Yeah.
Our
Get a
next
churro.
question, our number
Churro.
2, comes in from Diego Lucchese. He says, "Hello guys, I have a question for the allies. What is your opinion on Dreams? I know Brandon is really interested in it, but I would like to hear what everyone else thinks."
Way down.
Looks
Way
cool.
down with that game.
Oh, the
the
game.
game.
I was
Yeah.
like,
Dreams
Yeah.
again.
Maybe not
They're not
dreams.
actual dreams, yes.
I'm like, I find it fascinating. It's your brain unpacking the day's events. But yeah, I don't know, that game looked terrifying at first, and now it looks less terrifying.
Yeah, I want to see Don play that game. Otherwise,
Yeah.
I don't know what I would do with it.
Dawn's Dreams.
Oh my god.
Dawn's Dream.
Don
show.
Dreams. We have a new show.
New
Yeah.
show.
Kyle, you're playing through Tearaway. Are you stoked?
I don't know. Everything I've seen so far doesn't look like video games to me too much. And
What do you
so
mean by that? What do you?
basically
Explain
what they've
yourself.
shown. I know I haven't been watching their live streams, but what they've shown at E3 press conferences in the past is kind of just like, look at us exploring this tiny weird space that like looks uncomfortable. And so I really I need to see some things that are like, yeah, I want to make that. I want to be there.
Okay, cool. Thank you for that elaboration.
Needs context.
Number 1, we're gonna go till 2:05 because we started 5 minutes late, so we actually might get through more.
Nice.
So this will be number 1, and then we'll go to 0. Hey, kind of a random question. This is from Morgan Worth. I recognize her. She's very good, very positive, good person. Hey, kind of a random question, but what did any of you want to be when you grew up, or what did you tell people you wanted to be? I know I used to lie as a kid and say I wanted to be a vet because I didn't want people to know how I wanted to be a writer. Did any of you do similar things?
A game show host. All I want.
I'm not gonna laugh at your dream. It's a good dream.
It is a good dream. It is a good dream. It's funny. There was a point in my life where I wanted to be a professional skateboarder. No joke.
Oh,
that was yeah. It was because of the Tony Hawk games, actually.
Awesome.
I remember in elementary school I said I wanted to be a professor, but it was entirely based off of the movie, The Absent-Minded Professor, with the flubber and everything.
Oh.
So I think what I thought in my head was I wanted to be an inventor.
Nice.
Cool.
Mine was sort of like that. I always wanted to be things related to movies I'd just seen. Like, I wanted to be a paleontologist and then a tornado chaser. And then I was like, well, if I'm an actor, I could just do everything. And then I was like, oh, I prefer being behind me. There's something else I wanted to be, but I don't want to talk about it.
In my 6th grade yearbook, it says I want to be a video game designer.
Nice.
Whoa, dude, that's cool.
Our next question is from Ali. He says, starting from last gen and going into the current gen, with the power of the internet, don't you think fans and gamers have too much influence over the decisions of developers?
No. I think it's great how much influence people have. I really do.
Why?
We're making better games than ever. Our games right now are so good. Obviously, no, there's like
There's a lot of bad games.
perfect games from like 1998 that aren't. We don't have games as good as those anymore. But I do think that human interaction, our negative comments do kind of guide us closer to what made those games so good, I hope.
I think it helps multiplayer-focused games and experiences, Kyle. I don't know how much it's helping single-player stuff, though, and story-driven games. I think those types of games, while they're still good ones, I think those were better back in the day. Like
They totally are, yeah.
Yeah, so it depends what type of game it is.
But
It depends how people give their opinion. Like if they're going to be super rude about it and tell you how to do your job or something like that, then I don't think that's good at all. But if you're constructive criticism, yeah, that can be a really great thing.
So I feel like, let's say Resident Evil 7 is announced at E3. I feel like what we see isn't going to be Resident Evil 6, and I think that's because of people complaining about Resident Evil 6.
No, it's going to be because of the sales.
The sales is what made Resident Evil 6 Resident Evil 6. They looked at Call of Duty sales and are like, oh, we need to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that didn't sell like that, so they know they need to do something different.
All right.
Sales speak.
No,
We're talking about Capcom here.
No, there was a huge vocal majority that was like, we want survival horror, and then they responded directly saying, we're listening to you, we understand you want horror. Like Resident Evil 6 went away from that, we get it. And then Resident Evil Remake HD came out, and they confirmed, they were like, oh, we see how much you love this.
Fans, yes, fans have some voice there. Just, I don't think for big game companies they have as big of a voice as they think they do. Like Project Rainfall, Operation Rainfall, they thought they were the reason they did that. It was because the sales numbers added up, like the projections and stuff. It's always money. It's always money when it comes to business.
I mean, like people talking is just like they're adding an opinion to their money, kind of. I don't know. I mean, think about Destiny or Diablo 3 or like all these games. Like they wouldn't be as good as they are if they hadn't listened.
Diablo 3 is a good one, dude.
Also, if we didn't have the internet and the internet and the fans, we would not be anticipating Shenmue 3.
Thank you, Uber. Yep. Yeah, absolutely, dude.
Thank you,
Uber.
Absolutely.
Well, I hope
That was actually a little scary.
That was creepy, Uber.
I hope Capcom was listening to the reaction of PT. I'll just say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard, hey, they were listening when they stripped it away from the PlayStation Network.
Well, that's
It's all part of a conspiracy.
There was a lot of good emotion on that one, but we're going to move on.
Oh,
Our next question, unless you guys got more. Sorry, I don't want to take
go
away
ahead.
any good things. We got to move. Kyle, I know that grin. You're upset.
I'm not upset. I'm ready to move on.
What do you think?
Kyle has no emotions.
I have no emotions.
I don't trust that face. All right, Chris and Rebecca. Hey, allies. Next month is the 25th anniversary of the release of Sonic the Hedgehog. If you had the ability to have created a Sonic game for release this summer, how would you make it and try to put the franchise back on track?
Here goes the last 5 minutes.
2D side scroller and fast as hell.
Yeah, get rid of all his dumb friends.
No. Let a person behind the Sonic Twitter account make the game. I just want Sonic Meme the game.
That would be the worst.
Best-selling Sonic game of all time.
It would be the Borderlands of Sonic. I don't want that, dude.
I would want Ben Moore to be creative director.
I would take the Sonic Unleashed demo, okay, the demo that a lot of people had a good idea about, and I would make the exact opposite of that. I would get as far away from that Sonic Unleashed demo as possible.
How about they make it like make the F-Zero team make a Sonic game because then it'll actually feel like it goes fast.
Did Sonic Unleashed have like half of it where you like go through really fast?
Yeah.
Yes.
Dude, that half of that game was a freaking 10 out of 10. I loved it.
I want Sonic the Hedgehog to be a turn-based strategy game.
Give it back to BioWare.
Yep, there we go. Sonic Chronicles Dark Brotherhood Extreme Edition.
I think a common misconception, though, just really quickly, is that Sonic is like a super fast game. But if you go back and you play 1 and 2, like it is a platformer. You kind of got to take it slow. You can't just cannonball rush through that entire game because you're.
I thought it was a puzzle game.
Yeah, because you have to like navigate through it.
That's puzzle platform.
Exploration because you actually jump.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It only looks fast when you know what you're doing.
Like all Easy Allies related content, we're falling apart at the end here. Our next question comes from Adam. He says, "Hi guys, probably too early in the venture for this, but have you ever considered running a small standalone fundraisers through GoFundMe or whatever for specific events or miniseries that are too much for your usual budget to support? I, for one, would pay good money to send Ben to Japan and follow his misadventures in the streets of Akihabara. I am open to any and all ideas."
So long, Ben. Bye, Ben. Ben's never coming back.
So I don't think it's a bad idea. I just think that right now we have eyeballs on our Patreon, and it's just easier to raise money through here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I will in the comments for this archive, I'll link my PayPal account if you would like to give me money. Thank you.
Gosh.
Oh man.
I'm not gonna do that. Okay, that well said, Kyle. I totally agree. We gotta focus on Patreon. Eric Jackson. If you had the power to travel into and out of any video game world, what game world franchise would you venture into first and why?
Oh my god.
Mario Kart.
Do people die in those worlds? Yeah, that's
Dragon Quest.
I like that a lot. And Mario
Yeah,
Kart.
dude. I want to switch to Huber's World.
Dragon Quest?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna
Losing
pick
Kyle.
Cooper's as well. What's up?
I was losing Kyle there. I don't know what I just.
Let's all go into Dragon
Oh,
Quest.
Kyle.
We'll party up.
Party up. That's what I want to do. I don't
Adventures.
because I'm too scared to go in another game world alone.
Yeah.
If I can be with Huber, I'm in.
Yeah.
I
We'll go.
want to see what the rest of the world in Mario 64 looks like.
It
Oh,
ends.
that's pretty good. That's pretty
Ends,
good.
Brad.
That's it. You hit a wall.
Man, that's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
Symphony of the Night, Ian. Just say it.
No. I
That'd
want
be
it to be
terrifying.
somewhere like nice to be, like
The
With
Witness.
friend-
Ian. Just say
friendly.
it.
No,
Witness.
it's like it's too lonely. I mean, the world of Myst, like on the whole, would be really cool, where you could like write ages and go to them. That'd be pretty neat. I don't know, maybe something like Star Wars or like EVE Online or like the happy parts of Mass Effect.
Yeah.
There's some cool worlds in Mass Effect.
Animal Crossing would be pretty jolly.
Yeah, it would.
Cross.
I like that a lot, Brad. That was a good answer. Our last question of the day, this is going to be it for the May 2016 Patron Q&A, is from Marosa Mune. Something that's bothered me for a long time is that multiple allies have not or will not watch each other's videos/streams. Curious as to why that is. Thanks, a lot of love to you all.
Let's kick off with Damiani on this one.
I mean, do we have to be like evil here?
You can be whatever you want to be, man.
I mean, this goes back to even when I was at game trailers. Like, there's just some things that like I'm just not into. So it's the same thing as like playing. Like, I shouldn't have to like for fun. If you don't like it, we gave the advice. If you don't like a certain type of game, don't force yourself to like it. Of course, I want everyone to succeed. I will always watch something if someone wants my like professional opinion to be critical of it and give suggestions. But especially stream stuff, I'm not sitting through a 2, 3, 4 hour stream to rewatch it. Like, I just don't want to do that. If someone makes a highlight, like the E3 stream last year, I watched the highlight stuff of like all the cool parts of it. I was like, hey, that's really cool. Like, those moments are awesome. But I don't tend to find myself. I mean, I don't do this with anyone else. It's not just Easy Allies. Like, I tend to be very picky about what I watch and stuff when it comes to like viewing stuff. Like, there are some like reviews I've done like once they're out the door and I've done all my work at it. I never want to watch it again. It's like I don't want to watch it, especially podcast stuff as well. Because I'm gonna tell a quick story. really short, because I know we're out of time. Like, I asked a former coworker of ours at Game Trailers why he doesn't listen to Bombcast. Because I was like, dude, I love the Giant Bombcast. I love that. He worked with those guys. He's friends with those guys. He's like, I can go talk with them anytime and get their opinion. I don't need to sit down and listen to a 2.5 hour, 3 hour produced piece because I already interact with them. I interact with the allies. I don't need, if I'm not on a podcast, I don't need to listen to it because I'm going to hear their thoughts naturally through our discussions and stuff. So,
I watch all your guys' stuff. The only time I don't watch a review is if it's spoilers. Like, I didn't watch the Dark Souls 3 review, but I always go back when I finish to watch it, and it's super cool because then it's like, oh, okay, yeah, I get that. So I kind of like sync it up with my thoughts. And but like Damiani said, I don't watch the podcasts that I'm not on because the same thing, because I can talk to you guys about everything in real life in real time. So
I think there are absolutely no hard feelings despite our trolling right now. I think we all understand and don't expect each other to watch each other's shows.
No.
That said, I watch every episode of Don's Discount Game.
Yeah, I've watched every episode of Dawn's. And
Yeah,
like,
I watch everything that's short. I mean, it's just once we get into the stuff that's like
Whoa.
hour long, it's like even stuff that I want to watch, I end up not watching sometimes.
Darth Blood.
Darth Blood.
No, it's just.
No,
it's just your voice. Something's wrong with your mic.
Oh, yeah, no, I've been trying to figure that out. My mic will just suddenly like change mode sometimes. I don't get it.
Robot
This is amazing. Yeah, so I don't think there's any hard feelings. It's just, I
You
think...
got pretty upset at me that one time when I hadn't seen Frame Trap.
No, I wasn't upset that you hadn't seen it.
this?
It was your cursory dismissal that got to me.
Can you
I
tell
just
that
said-
whole story?
I basically just said, I'm not going to watch that, and then he got
Yeah,
mad
it's
at me.
just the tone. It's just the tone. Like,
I don't watch any-
Damiani's
anything on the internet. Like,
Damiani's
besides-
like explanation. I was like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Ian was basically like, I ain't got time for that shit, and I was like, okay, dude, thank you.
I don't!
Nice. Thank you.
I've been working constantly for 4 weeks.
Yep.
I
I've had a weekend.
somehow sat through. Well, I was working at the same time, but I somehow sat through like 4 or 5 hours at a Hearthstone stream yesterday. I still don't
Dedicated
know anything
blood.
about Hearthstone.
Yeah.
I still know nothing about Hearthstone. I don't even look at that side of the screen. I just listen to you guys talk and talk to chat.
We're gonna get you to
Always
play.
watching.
We're gonna get you to play next time.
But unless anybody has anything else, yeah. So I think in general there are no hard feelings. There's no hatred here. Everybody's good, despite the trolling. You guys troll so fucking much. Like, it is actually ridiculous. Anyway, that's gonna do it for us.
I've made a real conscious effort to
Never mind,
no
it's not-
longer. Sorry, Ben.
No,
I
it's
was
not
gonna say
troll.
I've made a real conscious effort to no longer troll.
I'm trying to be more positive and
That will not
too.
happen here.
That will not happen.
That will not
I'm
happen.
trying. Trying hard.
just
It's hard
wait.
to be positive.
Positive trolling. That's what I say.
Kyle, have you made a considered effort to decrease your trolling? Thank you. Great.
Increasing.
Thank you again, everybody who submitted questions. I'm sorry we didn't get to everything. We tend to get caught up in scuffles like Captain Toad, but it's fun, and I hope that the answers we did give you enjoyed. We're going to do this again next month, probably around the same time. So start thinking of your questions now. And the sooner you submit them, the more likely we are to get to them. So thank you again, everybody, and thank you to my illustrious panel for being great and trolly and themselves once again. So does anybody have any closing thoughts?
No.
Just some housekeeping. Yeah, we'll get the archive of the stuff if people miss parts of it. That'll go up soon. And
Okay.
then-
Wait, Blood.
If you don't speak robot, Bloodworth just said that we're going to put the archive of this onto YouTube.
Okay, Robo
Blood,
Kyle.
say, search your feelings. You know it to be true.
Search your feelings. You know it to be true.
Say,
What
say,
happened?
like, say I have infected your database.
I've infected your database. Is that
I don't know.
Too bad.
That's cool. I like that.
Super good.
Do I sound better yet?
No.
King Daisy.
And on that note, that's going to do it for us. We love you all. See you next time.